little bit windy, right? See my hair flowing? That's why I don't put my helmet on yet. Just to let you see, because if I put my helmet on, can't really tell it's windy, you know? But anyway, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another skateboarding video. Beginner number 308. 308 videos, baby. Oh man, I'm so happy, man, because it says it's supposed to rain all week, and I thought last video was gonna be my last one till next week, you know. So look like it's gonna rain tomorrow a little bit, and Saturday. I think if it rains a little bit Saturday, I'm still gonna go, man. You know, I'm starting to overcome my brain more and more as I come out. Even today, I was sitting there just playing my video game, you know, playing Wasteland 3 on my Video Game with Lo YouTube channel. Little plug-in. I was just sitting there. It's about 11 o'clock, and my brother and sisters, because my other sister came to visit us from Virginia, you know. They went to the store, went to probably grocery store. That's what they usually do. So we're gonna have some good cooking, you know. That's what's great about having big families, you know. When I was a kid, I was so embarrassed because I was the 12th kid in my family, and I was so embarrassed. There's so many people in my family, and I never had a room, you know, ever had my own room, or can't invite people over because, you know what I mean, like, never had my own shit. But then when you grow up, as I'm older and older now, like, they just cook all the good food, and it's cool, you know. I just do my thing and go enjoy life. I feel like you know, it's a kid being a kid, like a teenager, you know. Just go skateboard and come home, eat, go to sleep, go to school, right? Except instead of going to school, I'm going to dialysis, you know, 3 times a week. So that's kind of like my school. But anyway, yeah, man, I already forgot my thoughts, what I was saying. Oh, fighting my brain, you know. It was kept telling me, like, nah, man, just stay inside. It's like cloudy, it's windy, and it was raining hard last night, and you don't need to go out there, man. You know, you just sit here and go back to your usual self, like you did during the winter break. And yeah, man, that winter killed me, man. So I don't want to go back like that. So I'm like, fuck that. So I got up, you know, cleaned the bathroom a little bit. I took a shower first. Then I cleaned the bathroom a little bit. I, you know, used the Swiffer the floor, wiped the trash can with the, you know, anti-disinfectant shit. It's pretty good. The Walmart brand's pretty good. It's like 1/3 the price, man, of like Clorox, you know? Same shit. So I got that, like a Walmart brand. Wipe the trash can, wipe the brushes, the plunger and all that, clean all that shit, and wipe down the counter, the sink counter, you know, the way you brush your teeth and all that. After I took a shower, sprayed like the curtains and the walls and all that shit with the bleach. You know, mixed with bleach and water, like 10% bleach and 90% water. Then hose it down with the, you know, I have the shower head with the hose, wipe all that down. And then after that, man, I feel fresh. Yeah, change the trash can, empty my trash can in my room, and trash can in the bathroom. And the only thing I didn't do is the mirrors. I don't have any Windex, so maybe that's my next thing to buy. Get some Windex, or, you know, whatever, generic glass cleaner. And yeah, and then just gathered all my shit and just came down. And then there's just the sun just coming out right now, man. It was cloudy all day and overcast, you know, or partly sunny, I should say. And yeah, let's get to the topic of the story. I know in my video I go all over the place, man, but I want to talk about, you know, only death. What does that mean, Lo? What's only death mean? Only death means, what happened is in 11 days I'm going to be I'm going to be 55 years old, if God willing. So not this Monday. Today's Thursday, so not this Monday. Next Monday I'll be 55 years old. And I'm very very happy because you know, I started slowing down skateboarding around 2005, which is like, what, 21 years ago. And, you know, slow down with skate only like 10 times a whole year, something like that. Off and on, you know. And around 48 years old, which is 2019, I tried to come back like hard, you know. I was like, oh man. And that didn't happen. And then at 49 years old, 2020, during the COVID, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this time. No, same thing was when I was 48. Nothing. And in 2021, on my birthday, March 16, 2021, I was 50 years old. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it for real this time, man. And yeah, March 16, 2021, that was my first #1 skateboarding beginner video. And now we are at 308. Yeah, man. So I'm proud of, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of that, man. Like, but my progression, I think I gained probably like 20%, I think, in 5 years. My goal was to drop in the vert ramp, but obviously it's gonna be worse because, you know, if you seen the last video, I downgraded. What do you mean by downgraded? So the trucks are smaller, so it means it turns faster. And it's skinnier. And it turns very fast. And it's got belly in the nose. Or it's got a tail, it's got belly in the nose. Say, Lo, why you do that? You know, people hack themselves to get better, but I hack to get worse. Like I always tell people, it's like walking across a piece of plank wood, you know, like a 2x6 or 4x6, you know, like that wide, or walking on a tightrope, right, like that. So that's, to me, is a tightrope. But it was a tightrope. Now it's like a twine because I downgraded even more, made it even harder. Than now this board is like 10 times harder than riding my other board. Believe it or not. Like I was riding to Dallas, I was having a hard time just going straight, man. It was just why do it? It's fun, man. It's so fun. Like, I was working on my manuals, but now I'm just gonna work on just pushing the board back and forth and throwing a little bit of manuals, you know? Yes, I'm got on my subject again. But anyway, yeah, the only death, man, is like, you know, so I was born in Laos, 1971. And that was like around the Vietnam War, you know? So a lot of countries around there, you know, like Burma, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam. They're all like in the 5 group together, and they're all, you know, like one way or another involved. And, you know, a lot of people die, you know, during that time. I mean, the communists taking over. I mean, when you live in a communist country, anything can happen, man. You could just lose your life anytime, man. Like, anytime. I mean, like, my sister was telling me all these Lao people are getting deported from America. And they make YouTube video and everything, and so they have these, a lot of these guys have a lot of tattoos, you know. I mean, I have a couple or 3, that's it, you know. You know, the cactus, the last time I went to a Dam, Phoenix, Arizona. My friend got me that, 2005, so that's the last time I really skated. And I got the Spitfire when my mom died, 2000. And then I got this City Star because I used to work for Kareem Campbell in City Star. But she was saying, yeah, because they walk around with short sleeves, shorts, everything, showing up all their tattoos and everything. You know, in my country, in Laos, it's like it's frowned, you know? It's like looked down against, you know what I mean? Like people look down at that shit. Even though it's getting more and more, you know, like accepted. But the problem is there's a lot of like, you know, like old school Lao dudes, you know, that work their asses off and you can barely afford like a bowl of rice, you know? And they see these guys walking around, you know, get from America and, you know, showing off all their tattoos and buying all the expensive food and staying in motels and, you know, like just living the life, man. And so these guys are struggling, you know, and they see that and they can fuck with these guys and these deported guys because they're not, you know, Lao citizen. The communists could fuck them up. Like if you know the guy from Lao, the gang or whatever, start shit with these guys, nothing will happen to those guys because they're, you know, Laotian citizens. So these little things that, you know, because these guys in their 30s, so they don't know, man. They don't know. So for me, man, I've been lucky, you know, in my life, being the last kid in my family. You know, I learned a lot from my brothers and sisters, especially my mom. You know, she sold fish, meat, you know, pork, chicken, and stuff like that. And her and my oldest brother would drive to these different places in his truck, and she would trade, you know, all that for like gold, right? She'd bring all these meat and everything to these like people in the mountains. You know, they don't have ocean or rivers and all that. So they always eat only like, you know, maybe chicken and then stuff like that. You know, never eat fish and stuff. So she would trade it for gold. And every time, you know, she went to a cross guard, you gotta have papers, you know, she would just bribe them and buy them like cigarettes and toys for the kids and shit like that. Like, hey, my son here, got you, you know, carton of cigarettes and stuff like that. Or tea or whatever. She knows what they like, you know. She's a smart what do you call it? Merchant. That's why I love playing Wasteland, man. I meet all these merchants and they have these stories. It reminds me of my mom, you know. She could be one of those merchants. And it's so cool, man. So I always hung out with her a lot, you know. I mean, not in Laos, but later on, like when we came to New York. So in Laos is like, there's these neighborhoods. Sometimes you go by, walk by them, they shoot you with slingshots and shit. Yeah, like these kids, they hide behind these big dirt mounds and they shoot you with slingshots as you're walking by, man. It's like, I mean, crazy shit, man. Like, you know, that's what I remember as a kid, and just a dangerous, you know, dangerous place that anything can happen, man. So, you know, and they went to a refugee camp. You know, you could have died in a refugee camp too. You know, you only get food like once a week and water. And you know, let's say you went out there solo, like a single guy or girl, or whatever. You know, you have no families. Like they only give you so much food for. Depends on how many people in the family. You know, lucky for us, we have a lot of people, so we always had food. But even then, my dad with me would go out and hunt frogs and snakes and fish or whatever, you know, in the forest. For extra, you know, we just bring in and cut them up, and then we gut them and salt them, you know, like salted them for preservatives. Hello. And yeah, man. So you know, that's just a survival thing. So material never crossed my mind, you know, because I remember just playing with rocks. If you had like marbles and rubber bands, that was like a PlayStation 5, man. Here it'd be like a PlayStation 5 and like an iPhone 17. You have like, it's funny, right? Just like a bag of marbles and like a bag of rubber bands, and they'd be like, yeah. Because we would, even kids, we would gamble. Like, we'd have like popsicle sticks on top of a rock, and we have like whole thing of rubber bands on our wrist, so someone would tie them up like a braid, and we bet like 5 each. So you stack like on the popsicle sticks, you stack like, you wager 5, and then another would stack another 5 rubber bands. Like 3 people would be 5, so that's 15 rubber bands. And then you stand back so far, and you get another rubber band. Like no long ones, no big ones or nothing. Just the same size, same little ones. There's no like cheating, you know? Because now you'd be like, oh, if you get a long one, you can shoot it further, right? But no. We had these little rubber bands, and then you take turns and you shoot. And you try to knock the rubber band down, and whatever fell down, that's yours to keep. You know, and then when it's over, then you just stack again, you know, bet again, like 5 rubber bands. Yeah, so that was the rubber band thing. And then another thing is marbles, right? So we just shoot marbles at each other. Like you get the marble, and you put your hand like this. You put this finger in your middle finger, and you come down like a brace, and you shoot it like that. Like some people, man, they're so good. Their hand would bend like back, like far, dude. Like they, you know what I mean? Like just anything, right? Us as human, that's why I say we are the ultimate machine, man. You know what I mean? If you play like that all the time. So think about it, the more you bend back, right? The harder the marble is gonna shoot, like the further it's gonna go. So yeah, if you hit the other marble, you get to keep that marble, right? So then there's like a hole. Whoever gets to the hole first, you know what I mean? Like wins the marble too. You get to the hole. So we had a little hole there. And what people were doing was, they would dig a hole, and then they would dig like a tunnel, right? And then if your marble goes in there, it goes in this tunnel, and you're like, oh fuck, where is it? And so you have to keep digging to where the tunnel is. But the person that made that trap, they know where the tunnel is. It's crazy, man. Yeah. And it was like kind of weird because I'm scared of worms and shit. So I would never dig the dirt because there's a lot of worms in there. So I was just like, fuck it, I lost my marble. You know what I mean? That's another really you know, saying, you know, the saying here is like, you lose your marbles, like something else, right? That losing your marbles, like literally losing my marbles, like, ah, fuck. So I never really play marbles that much. I play a lot of rubber bands, and a lot of times the bad thing about rubber bands is when you pull back, it can break and snap and hit your eyeball. Yeah, I got a couple times where the rubber band broke because I tried to stretch the rubber band so hard it busted and then popped my eye. Yeah, I could have went blind in the refugee camp. That was like what, 7, 8 years old. So yeah. So yeah. And then after that, you know, we got lucky. You know, a lot of people don't get to come to America or wherever. America is the best place to come. Some people go to Canada. Some people go to Europe. Like my second oldest sister went to France. But most of us came to America, which is awesome. So we came to New York City, you know. 1980. And yeah, so I met a couple people and we were playing tag one day. I was here for like 3 years, okay? So from 1980 to 1983. So one day we were playing tag, and I was holding up to this wall, and I jumped down it. I was like, oh, it's pretty good. It's like pretty tall. It's like right at the top of that. Probably the top of that roof. Tell the truth. Or maybe that, I don't know, I was a small kid, so I don't know, maybe the top of this roof. But it seems pretty far, you know. It seems pretty far for me. So I'm like, I'll put this box here, that way if I fall, it wouldn't hurt that much. So I go up there and do it again. So what happened is, you go inside the apartment, and then they have stairs like this, right? But under the first stair, there's a little opening, and then there's a little hole. You crawl out there. That's what I did. I crawl out there, and I hung on the ledges. But for some reason, someone saw me, and they're trying to, like, cat claw me, tag me. So I was like, fuck that, you're not gonna get me. So I drop, and I look down. See, the thing with your body is, that's what's great about learning things, like skateboarding, right? When you turn your head, your body goes that way. Like, you know what I mean? When let's say you want to do backside, like I ride goofy, I would go this way, turn his head, backside. If I go front side, I would turn this way, it goes this way, right? So when I turn like that, my body went like this. Instead of that coming straight down my feet, like that. So I fell. That's why I have this gap right here on my teeth. I fell straight in my face, like 10 years old, 10 or 11 years old. Busted my tooth all the way to the roots, man. The whole thing pulled out. There's blood everywhere, man. So I went so what we do is we use a lot of salt, and water. So that's what I did to rinse my, anything about mouthwash and all that shit. You know what I mean? The fucking refugee style, So we got some salt and put some water and rinse it in my mouth, and eventually after a while, instead of getting a napkin and holding it, that's what they do when you're a dentist. They give you a gauze and shit. You know what I mean? Like, one thing you gotta know about the third world is we just do what, like, to us is common sense. You know what I mean? We just use our brain and I think, because like in the refugee camp, I saw a lot of Asian people, especially like even me, right? Our teeth all fucked up, We don't have toothpaste, mouthwash, anything. We use salt. We didn't have toothbrush. You get salt put on your index finger, right? And it's like that. That's how we brush our teeth, man. You know what I mean? When you're in there, you got no money, you got nothing. If you didn't have no people from the third world, not the world, from the first world, sending you money down there, you don't have no money, man. You don't eat shit. You just eat whatever they give you once a week and water. So that's what I remember, just like that, open right here. Just wash my teeth like that. That's how a lot of our teeth all fucked up, No, you know what I mean? No, like here, kids are like complaining, they gotta go do like a checkup and shit. Check up the eye, check up the teeth, check up, you know what I mean? Like, man, it's a privilege, man, to have that shit. That's why when I see these guys, that have beautiful, nice teeth, or girls and shit, like, wow, If I want to fuck it up by, smoking and drinking and all that shit to fuck up your teeth, When your parents spend so much money and time and everything trying to get you to look nice and beautiful so no one make fun of you, Especially when you're a kid, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, when I was a kid, I think I was, I think I was ugly. To tell the truth. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to dress. Plus of all, I didn't have no clothes because, we were poor. So we just wore whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever the sponsor gave us. And the good thing was I never got robbed. You know what I mean? Like kids would, like in 5th grade, I remember kids would we have a big fence, but once the school closed, they opened the fence for everybody to get out. I remember just walking, and then I don't know what's going on. I noticed like these kids, they're getting picked up by these big black dudes, right, from the back, and then the other guy would come and take his shoes, and then they just walk away. They wouldn't even run. But I was like, I don't know, man. They never bothered me because they, you know what I mean? They saw me and they're like, fuck, this guy's straight out of, fresh out of the boat. So that's a positive thing. Nobody really fucked with me when I was a kid, The thing people understand is it's always been crazy, Crime and all that shit. It's just, unless you're there seeing it, like, one time I was walking, there's a lady running down the street, like, just holding her face and blood dripping down her elbow and shit. Just blood everywhere. Just running. Yeah. Like, you see, like, black bags in those big, metal trash cans with like a lot of blood dripping out of it on the ground. Like, I don't know, it could be a cat or dog or human, I don't know, but you see that dragging down like a big old blood thing down the sidewalk into the trash can. It's just here with the with the media and all that shit. You can see that thing like live. So people that never seen that shit in real life, they just so shocked, you know. That's why the world's kind of fucked up right now, you know what I mean? Because everyone's trying to change shit, trying to make things like everyone equal, everything this. No, man, it's like the animal world, you know, the kingdom, animal kingdom. You're fucking small, the alligator's gonna eat you, you know what I mean? That's how it is, man. You're an ant. I don't know. Those anteaters eat you, or you're a grasshopper. Those little the chameleon and shit. They'll just with your tongue and eat you. You know what I mean? Because I did that shit in back to refugee camp. Yeah, I forgot to say. We had snakes, frogs, and then grasshoppers too. Yeah, like it takes a long time to get the grasshoppers, man. Fry them up, just put some salt on it. It's pretty crunchy. It's pretty good, actually. Most of the meat's from the butt. Everything else is just like bone, you know, crunchy. Like. But yeah, I mean, I survived, and even came to New York City. When I came to New York City, man, I thought it was heaven, man. You know, I thought I was in heaven because, you know what I mean? Escape from Laos. You know, leaving your country, going to another country, not knowing where your family is, because they separate the women and the men in the beginning, and separate and ask people, like, especially in teenagers, you know that, like, I think my brother, my two brothers got beat up and shit. He got his ear kicked in. It's like he's deaf in 1 year now. Yeah, because they were teenagers. They thought we were like communist spies, you know. But I was lucky because my dad worked at a American embassy. So he got papers for us to come, 4 of us. The youngest 4 of us, you know, out of 12. And then my mom, she came by herself because, you know, like I said, she was street smart, right? She knows what's up, you know. I think she hit a bunch of gold and shit, you know. She probably went to retrieve them because when we came to Thailand, she always gave me like money, right, to go eat and all that stuff. And like I said, unless people send you money from America or wherever, you're not gonna have money. And she had money, so I think that's what she did. She went and got her gold and shit, and then trade that in for money, you know, with Thai money. Yes, I felt my face, broke my teeth and everything, and then, you know, like, okay, not too bad, right? I could have broke more, right? My bones and shit or whatever. Yeah, I felt my face. And another time we were playing tag, like this one's really the one that I could have been physically dead. I was running across the beam. You know, the metal beam's about this wide. They have like on, you know, when they build the buildings. So it's all burnt down from the fire. So only thing left up was the beams, the metal beams. So same thing, we're playing tag in the back of the buildings. And so I ran across the beam like real fast, and halfway I lost my my footing. And I fell like the same thing, man, about that high. About that high. The tip of the roof. Down the ground. Okay? So remember when they make buildings, they have these rebars, you know, the metal bars sticking up, like probably this tall. At least 20 or 30, you know? And I fell off, I could have hit one of those and died right there, instantly, 10 years old. No. I fell on the door. Yeah, there was a door down there. So, tell me this. How did a door, a wooden door, by the way, because, you know, I could tell if I fell on a wooden door or a metal door. I mean, you know what I mean? The sound is, I'm pretty sure it was a wooden door. And even a wooden door, it would have like the knobs, the doorknobs, right? I could have fell on that too, right? Nope, I fell right in the middle of the wooden door. Yeah, from that high. And 20 or 30 rebars, I could have fell on those, but I didn't. So even then, back then, I didn't know about God, you know? I knew about God back then either, you know what I mean? Everyone born there are like Buddhists, right? So yeah, that could have been my first death. Easily. You know? But no, God saved me. And then, you know, after that, after New York, you know, I mean, all the craziness, I mean, talking, me walking to, this is minor shit, right? To me, it's minor. Me walking down the street to the arcade, to the pizza place, to get a pizza and a Coke and play some games. There'd be like 3 black kids. Yes, this is New York. Like, I never seen black people in my life. Fucking, like, most of them were black people, yeah. Like, black teenagers. Running up and down, shooting guns at each other. Guns, real pistols. And I'm just walking by them, man. Only thing I knew was like, fuck, there's a Donkey Kong at that. You know what I mean? At the arcade, I got $5, gave me a slice of pizza and a Coke and like whatever $3.75 I have, I'm gonna play Donkey Kong. They're shooting each other back and forth and shit, running across the street and this and that. I didn't care. Right there, could have got a stray bullet. You know? Not saying like I'm a badass, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm a badass, but God's looking out for me again, you know? Like, I'm not saying I'm pushing it or anything. So, there was another time in New York. Just, these are little minors to me, right? I mean, not even that. Like, even just, you know, like going to different neighborhoods. Like one of my friend, Carmel Thomas, big ass fucking black dude, right? He's so black they call him Spooky, you know. So back then they have different arcades at different neighborhoods, you know. And he's telling me about like, oh, there's like a Centipede game or some shit. Some game that was out, new game, you know. So, but then he told me, you know, you're not allowed to go there unless you're a fucking black person. So, he's like, okay. Tell what's going on. So I'm like, Mel, I want to go play games at your, I want to go see your house. And she's like, nah, you can't, you're not allowed. You're not fucking black, man. No non-black is allowed, dude. She goes, you know what? My brother, two of my brothers in a gang, they kind of like regulate the neighborhood. So if you come over, man, just tell them, you know Spooky, and they'll let you in. And yeah, I was like, I think it's pretty far, man, from my house to his house. It didn't matter, you know what I mean? I go through this neighborhood, man, and it's like, it's just like, if you see, you know, like, what's that movie, with Wesley Snipes and shit, King of New York or something like that, or like Escape New York, you know? Yeah, you go there and it's like, what the hell's going on? That lady keeps going in circles. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So yeah, man, I get in there and these big black dudes come up and be like, oh, yo, you lost or what? It's like, nah, I said, I know Spooky. And they're like, alright, bro, come on in. It's like, hell yeah. Went there, met my friend. You know, we had no cell phones or nothing like that. Like, when you tell somebody back in the day, you know, you're coming over or whatever, you know, you better be there, man. It's not just him, man. Oh, there she comes again. Fuck. What the hell's going on? So it's not just him, man, but another friend of mine named Victor. He's Puerto Rican. Same thing, man. We'd go somewhere. We'd say, yeah, come here, but meet me in the main road, and then he'd come down the block. Like I couldn't go up there because Puerto Ricans only, you know. When you're, you know, like when you're 10, 11 years old, you know what I mean? 10, 11, 12 years old, and you've been through the war, the refugee camp. Even though I don't know anything about, you know what I mean, like these a lot of like politics or whatever, you learn to use like your common sense very, very early, you know what I mean? Your common sense is like so strong, so fast, you know, like you don't fuck around, because you know, you just don't, certain things, I mean, if your common sense is off, you're dead, you know what I mean? So then after that, it was so much crime, we're getting mugged and shit all the time. I mean, except for me, like I said, I never had anything. I mean, right now, this is probably the most expensive thing I wear, this watch. I got this from one of the YouTube guy, Super Troy, he bought me this. He put some money in my PayPal, which I don't have no more because I got hacked into, so I was like, fuck it. Yeah, he put $110 in. So I was doing a Zumiez catalog. I was like, oh man, sick watch. So he bought me this. I still have it. Yeah, so anyway, I never really wear rings, jewelry, nothing, you know. But yeah, that's the only thing. If somebody wants it, I just give it to them. But you know what I mean, it's a work watch, right? It's all dirty and all that shit. I'm sure they look at me like, not even worth fucking $5, right? The battery worth more than that. You know it costs $25 to replace this battery now? And it's stupid because it's so easy, man. It's not even a regular... That's why I didn't understand. I mean, I should have realized, but look. It's got like 4... See, it's got like 4 screws. So you put a thing in here, you pop these, you pop these things just pops off. These. And you take the little 4 screws out. It's not like, you know, those ones you got a special tool to open it. I actually bought one of those for like $14 before I looked at my watch and realized it's just the freaking little screws. I was just assuming shit. Yeah, because the tool is $14, right? And to replace the battery, and you know what's fucked up? They cheat now, man. The battery only lasts a year now. Not even a year. Yeah, I got this. I got this battery like when I was in Florida. You know, like whatever year, 2 years ago, whatever. Because I just replaced the battery in this one. And actually, I bought battery, and they gave me. It's supposed to be a 2025. The package said 2025 in the Ziploc bag with the sticker. But I should have looked, but you know, I just assume people do shit. So I never assume anymore, or try not to. So it turned out to be a 2035, and it was thicker. So when I was putting it in, it wouldn't. The lid wouldn't close, and I was like, "What the fuck, man? How come?" I almost broke my watch because I was forcing it, you know, pushing it in. Yeah, like I said, man. I was, you know what I mean? Like, we talk about serious stuff, but sometimes I do talk about funny shit, you know? Funny things that happens. Like, you know, that's just life, man. If things don't happen to you in life, man, your life is boring, I think, you know what I mean? Like, when things happen, it happens for a purpose, you know? You know what I mean? You will see, as we go down, as we venture upward on my story. So yeah, like my mom, she never had a problem because these guys would mug you in the hallway, and she would buy beer, and like just like in Laos, right? When they go to the toll, right? She'd buy them carton cigarettes and toys and shit for the kids. So she knows. She knows these guys smoking pot, drinking beer. She even knows the brand of the beer, you know? She looks and see like, oh, okay. She see the picture. She don't know how to read English or speak, but she sees, you know, she's the merchant, man. She just looks and go, ah, that logo. She has a photographic memory, you know. I think that's where I got mine from too. A lot of times I just look at things, you know, like I don't really know their names or anything. I just look at it real quick, and even the edge of it. Just like when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, the card game. You know, I would know so many cards. I would read so many cards that even the guy would like barely like flash his card from his hand. I'm like, oh shit, I know what card he's got. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I think it's just, that's one thing I got from my mom, which I'm very, very, very proud of. I could just look at something and be like, oh yeah, I know what that is, you know? I don't have to know the name. So anyway, so yeah, she'd come home shopping with the shopping cart. There'd be like 5 black dudes in there smoking pot, drinking beer in the hallway. And we had like 5 stairs to go up into the hallway. They would sit right there, and, you know, and it had 2 doors, so like you can't hear them when they got mugged. And right behind that is our apartment. It goes all the way down. You know, it goes all the way down like that. Like the hallway, it goes down, just the door over here. And she'd bring them all the beers, and then they would like help her like pick the shopping cart up for her and push it to the door and open the door for her and shit. Yeah, so that's my mom, man. So that's why I learned my shit, man. You know. So anyway, so after that, like my dad got his wedding ring. He would take the trash out because the trash like on the side of the apartment goes down. Went back there, took the trash out. They mugged him, took his. Plus, he was a drunk too, you know. Like he always drink when he gets paid, and it sucked because he gets everybody beer and everything on his payday, you know, the food stamp money and all that shit. And he'd get drunk with everybody because, you know, we know the people. Because my sister was the guy working there. Like he was my sister, my sister's boyfriend. So he knows us. So my dad could buy beer with food stamp, right? Because he knows us. And they would get the fire going on a 55-gallon barrel, and then it ended up like those guys like mugged him, man. Took his wedding ring, because, you know what I mean? Because addiction, man. That's why you cannot. If somebody's addicted, man, to drugs, alcohol, something like that, you cannot trust them, man, no matter what. Or if they're a thief. I mean, it just sucks because when you're younger, you don't know, you know? You always think you're gonna be that hero, right? You just can think you're like that guy to save that guy or that girl, right? Nah, man. You know? Because I remember, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but then I'm coming back. When I was in Arizona, like 1990, there was this guy I met, skater, right? You know, skaters were always cool, right? Let people stay. So it turns out he's kind of like a thief or whatever. And I always stash my money in not really stash, just put them in like a drawer, right? Like a 4 drawer. So I remember I had $50 on the bottom drawer, like under like a book or whatever, you know? So I guess when I went to the bathroom, he dug through my shit and stole it, you know? So I'm saying, man, you can't. Even I still wouldn't change, you know? If I saw a skater, they needed a place to stay, I'd still let them stay. I mean, I would ask my sister first, but it's not my place, but you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, after that, after New York City, 1983, we moved to New Mexico, which is over here, next door to Dallas, Texas. And very, very calm, man. It was like, somewhere like 1,000 speed to like 10. It's like a cow town, laid back, everybody knows each other. And, only thing I really did dangerous there was I got a motorcycle and I tried to speed shift without using the clutch. So it just opened wide, and I went across the church parking lot. I was showing my friend after school, and my knee right here, here's a scar. Right there. That's when my knee dragged and I flipped like 4 times. Sprained my ankle and all that shit. And I went hiding because I didn't want my sister to get mad at me. My sister I live with right now. So she's like, come eat, come eat. Like my knee's all bleeding, swollen, my ankle's all swollen. So finally my nephew came up, went and told his mom that I got hurt on a motorcycle. Took me to the emergency room, wrapped my ankle up, bandaged my knee up. That's it. Oh, another thing too, I got sick around my 12th grade. So, I didn't know anything about expired medicine, So I took these medicine the doctor gave me, but they were old. They're like, I don't know, they were expired already. So I took it, and I started breaking out with these hives, man, like just only in my arms and my legs. Yeah, it was weird. And since it's only a 30,000 population, I was in a hospital for like one month, and they had to fly a specialist from Albuquerque, which is 3 hours away, and they took my urine sample and all that, and I guess they said, I think that was the beginning of my kidney damage, but they didn't say anything about the kidney. They just said it was a bunch of particles, in my urine, so that means your kidney's not filtering. But you're talking 1988, right? 1988, somewhere around there. So it's not really, technologies. But I think that's what happened to my kidney. I think that's what started it. That was the first. And it was cool. My class, my teacher came over, my communication teacher, we got inside the car, came to visit me. Brought my homework and shit if I want to do my homework in the hospital, man. You know what I mean? You can't pass up education, man. But not to be like bragging, but school was like easy for me, man. I would just I had advanced art. I would just take my math. Usually math is always the one, because the other one's just reading this and that, right? You just read anytime. Like my math and shit, I would just do it in my art class. Because I can throw shit quick, like my brain. You know what I mean? Some things you're just good at doing, but unfortunately skateboarding is not one of them. But I love it. I love it 1,000%. But skill-wise, hold on. My head's chopped off. Oh, now it's too far down, too far up. There you go. Skill-wise, 10. Stoke-wise, 1,000. You know what I mean? Yeah, so New Mexico didn't really, not really anything dangerous, really. I mean, I was showing off my truck. I had a truck, and I was showing off and going down the street, going 70 miles an hour in the resident area. And this lady, she didn't have a blinker on. I was going to pass her, and she turned because I didn't see a blinker. So I hit her. Good thing I didn't kill her. I was going 70 miles an hour, 16 years old, 17 years old. And I did sideways like that, slid up the grass, busted a mailbox. Yeah, good thing no one got hurt. My friend was with me. His name was Lance Starbuck. He was on the passenger seat. So we had no cell phone, nothing like that. So I told him we were next to my friend Scott's house. So he ran about 4 or 5 blocks to call the police for us. And just little things like that, you know what I mean? Nothing major. On my bike, I tried to jump a double thing, and I didn't make it. I landed on the front wheel, and I flipped over, and my helmet came off. And the funny part is I had a plate that says number 1 on it, which I'm number 1 from the bottom up. And yeah, I think God's telling me tone down a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, God's always there, man. There's a reason for everything. Even though I got wrecked and got hurt and everything, but the message was like God was saying, hey, humble yourself, Why you got number 1 plate for? This is what's gonna happen. You keep, trying to be a badass. I'm gonna keep, putting you in check. And it's funny when you look back at life, right? And you're like, yeah. I'm sure I missed a couple of things here and there, but as you notice, I never had bring the subject of girls, right? Like I said, man, I was too much into playing, and plus, I don't know, girl thing wasn't on my mind, you know what I mean? Got 10 or 20 other things I want to do, you know. I mean, girls are like going to a car dealership, you know what I mean? Like seeing all these nice Corvettes and Camaros and whatever, right? And in the end, it's like, you know, a couple minutes later, you're just like, oh shit, you see that curb? Fuck, let's go hit it up. I want to do tail slide that shit, you know what I mean? That one lasts forever. That lasts till like tonight and tomorrow and the next day. You're like, oh, let's go back to that curb. So then after that, that's when I met my real girlfriend, you know, right here. My lifelong girlfriend. When I was 14 years old in New Mexico, and next thing I know, I got Thrasher magazine. A year later, one of my friend's cousin came from San Francisco. I saw Thrasher magazine. I bought a board off him. It was a Jeff Grasso with the ABC box. And like my board, I had like, you know what I mean? It was just me skating and maybe a couple other people later so 1985. After 85, it was like maybe 86, 87, I met a couple people, you know, after that. So my skateboard my first skateboard I bought was a Vision for my friend. Actually, he got it for his birthday. His name's Kyle Snyder. He didn't want, you know, he was a BMX racer. He was sponsored by Redline. Yeah, he's that good. He was like a number 2 in Texas in points and number 1 in New Mexico. You know, like he had so many of those triple trophies and shit, like head high. So he had a Vision mid-size shredder. He sold to me for $60. So I had Bird, I had Copers, the plastic thing go around here on both of them. I had a nose guard that goes like this to protect the nose. I had a Bird. It's called Bird because see how it looks like a middle finger? Protects this. That way when you ride over the curb, it just rolls over. Because you know anything about ollies, right? So you got both of those. And then you got the rails on the side. And then here you got the skid plates. So you don't wear your tail down. And then I had yellow Sims wheels. Those big wide Sims. They're probably like, fuck, I don't know, 60 millimeters or 56 or something big, but you know. And what I have, tracker trucks, I think. Either tractor or going. I think they were tracker trucks. Yeah. You didn't have badass grip like this though. You know what I mean? That's badass shit. Just think how many little thing I cut. Look how many little pieces of tape I cut. A lot. I got love for my baby. So then, yeah, anyway, I saw the magazine. Everything was like California, man. Fuck yeah. I didn't realize that California was huge, like Texas. You know, from San Diego to San Francisco is like 8 hours, you know what I mean? That's not talking to the top of... That's not going to Mexico, the border, and then going to the top where Oregon is. You know what I mean? Yeah, where the Red Forest is. Yeah, man. So, my senior year, I went to Arizona. And everything worked out great, man. I was supposed to go to Tempe High School, which is closer to my house. But I wanted to go to McClintock, so it was over here, further. It's like 4 miles or something. And I met a couple of people, you know, I met Ted Z. He was in 10th grade, I was in 12th grade. And then he knew a guy named Tony Weathers, he was in 12th grade. So he introduced me to him, and he introduced me to this guy, Chris Rupp, and he was in 12th grade. So yeah, I'm like, fuck. So I go home to my sister, I'm like, dude, I need to go to McClintock, say Tempe High School. So she rigged it up to where a friend lived over here, and everything worked out great, man. Yeah, I would just skate there, like 4 miles to high school until later on I got a car, you know, I got a Pontiac T1000. And yeah, it was like $600 or something. But even then, like my sister was going to a Chinese high school, not high school, Chinese church. And That's what I'm saying, man. God was always there, man. And I met my best friend, man, Kevin Yee. So I met Alan, this guy named Alan. He's like in 10th grade. We were in the Bible class, you know, and he didn't say anything to me, but he went and told Kevin Yee that there was a guy skater, you know. So he's like, oh man. So yeah, I met Kevin Yee, and then finds out he has like a spine ramp at his house and shit with an extension, parking blocks. Like, dude, it was the dream, man. Because I built one in my backyard, you know, but me and my friend, but it was like we had plastic coping, and when we cut it in half, like it wasn't, you couldn't slide or anything. It's just for looks. And we had rolling. It was over the rolling. It was over. You go over and it goes under. And the thing was like vert. It's only like maybe 5 feet tall, but it's like it went to vert. Yeah, we just saw a picture of the Shut Up and Skate, the Jeff Phillips blue ramp. Just saw that. We tried to replicate. We shrunk it down. But I remember my friend, he had that ramp, and he had this gang called Fab, F-A-B, Fastest Bricks, you know. And man, dude, every weekend, man, I would spend the night at his house. We'd skate that ramp, and we go. He was good, man. He could have been pro if he wanted to. He was so good, man. He had the best style. Dude, he had the best styles, man. Man, super cool, man. Like if it wasn't, you know, for God and going to that church and meeting him, like I would never, like I'm still friends with him now. You know, even though, I mean, you know, he'll tag me on Instagram, stuff like that, but I wish I could just skate with him still, you know. Yeah, so damn, everything worked out, man. Everything was awesome, man. Then finally, you know, I was thinking, oh man, I have to do something, you know. So what's around? I'm like, oh man, this car's around. I could always get a job like changing oils. Right? See, back then it was minimum wage in 1991 was 92 was $7 minimum wage, right? But you know what? I worked at minimum wage. I got to have my own studio apartment. It was $525, something like that. My apartment. I had an 85, a beat up Nissan truck. I was only paying like $25 in insurance, you know, just liability. And gas and everything was like cheap, man. That's it. Like, and it turned out to meet my I go to this skate contest, and I don't know how, you know, I mean, you're talking the early 90s, you know, like no cell phone, no nothing, you know, just a phone book. And I ended up going to this contest. I got lost. It's a transition skate park off like a 710 freeway in California. And man, it's just, I ended up in like Santa Monica or some shit. And had a, you know, thing of coins, and I put money in. I called them. They're like, no, it's over here. I looked on a map, look at the way that I met, you know, I went over there. And I met my friend Kyle. I saw him last July here at the, last May here at 4 Down. I didn't know he lives right here, like an hour away or something. He has a tattoo shop that he does. He came over. I was so happy to see him, man. So yeah, I met him in 91. And last year, 2025, and I saw him again, you know. I mean, I saw him a couple times in California. I think last time I saw him was 2014 in California at the Vans park opening. So 2014, 2005, so 11 years, man. I haven't seen him. It's crazy. So man, it was awesome. And I met him, and then he got sponsored by my other friend named Mario. He had a skate shop called Circle M. So he was so good, he got sponsored to go in the sponsor section at the Castle contest. So he introduced me to Mario. Then Mario's shop was like up the street, up the next city from my place. I was living in Santa Ana, and his shop was in Anaheim. So it was Saturday, Sunday, we went up there, I met him, and I met Kyle in the parking lot, we talked to him, and then Mario was like, yeah, I have a half pipe. A 5 foot and a 6 foot extension half pipe, like perfect. like down the street. So me and Kyle went down there and skated it, man. And I was just sitting there like after me and him, like he went home and I was sitting up there like this on the extension, the sun going down. And I mean, it took me a while. I mean, I didn't tell you about the trip going to California, but that was another mission, you know. I'll just wrap that up real quick with the mission, but yeah, when I was standing up there, like sitting there, beautiful, perfect weather, no wind, just perfect, sun going down, like, yep, I made it, man. I made my dreams, you know, thank God. So while I was coming to while I was coming to California, when I graduated, the auto diesel school called UTI, they gave us a thing, reference and shit to go get a job. Yeah, so I went to school for auto diesel, like I was telling you about. I just get a job at like oil changing, right? So when I was working at U-Haul at the same time too. I was going to school, this part time in the morning, and there was a camper shell. It was a Toyota camper shell. The guy was a dick though, man. He found it. We both found it, but he's like, no, I'm the one returning the truck, so it's mine. So it was like, well, how much you want for it? He's like, $40. Like, motherfucker. So yeah, he sold it for me for $40. But it was for a Toyota, but it still fit Nissan, but it had a little gap like that big, but fuck it. So it was an old camper shell, and so when I was coming over to here in California, it was raining. One of the window popped out, man, the side window of the camper shell. All the water went in, everything got flooded, my stuff. So I drove around to find this camper shell store, and I bought a window. It was $80, more than a camper shell. I had to, because I was taping my towel around it. It wouldn't work because, the wind. So what happened was, when I graduated auto diesel school, my friend said his dad would get me a job at the Boeing, right, the airplane place in Seattle. 'Cause he moved to Seattle. So he moved to Seattle. I wanted to go to California. My friend Kevin. Oh, my brother's here. Oh, no. Vậy đó có cái mồ.
Nhưng mà on mình.
On
bây giờ cả mình coi rồi. Anh skate qua đó còn cháu ngoài.
Ủa?
Không. Anh nó không phải.
Vâng, đến nói mình chú ด็กน้อยđây là
มันชิมมันอยู่นี่
เนี่ยมันชิมตัวเด็กน้อย
มันวางมันอยู่เสื้อ
ชิมตัวมันแลนเลยแม่เอิ้นมันแลนเลย
มันแรงออกไหม
โดนบอก
พอเลย
เป็นอาทิตย์แล้วนะมึงอยู่นะ
แม่นว่ะ
เด็กน้อยแล้วซ่อนเจ้าบุซื้อแพงไงมันเจ้าหูอยู่เด็กน้อย
Hello just came home มากินข้าว
later
ข้าวกินข้าว
later So that's my sister. They came from Virginia to visit. She's retired, so it doesn't. Last time she came in for like 8 months. You know what I mean? Whatever, like this is what, when we moved, to New Mexico over there, it was kind of like this. It's kind of like a hub, like here too. Now this house like a 2.0, everybody that comes, like my brother first come from New Jersey, but it snowed in, like, so everything got canceled. So like I said, we had 12 people, but there's only 6 of us left. 6 people already passed, plus my mom and dad, that's 8. So it's me, my 2 brothers, and my 3 sisters. So 3 of them lives in my 2 brothers and my sister. One of my sister lives in New Jersey. My other sister lives in Florida, and then this one lives in Virginia. And in her, let's see, right? Oh, there's 7 of us. Forgot about me. So yeah. So anyway, we were I was supposed to get a job in Bowen, but so I put my resume and everything in California, and I stayed in Santa Maria because one of my friends met at the auto diesel place. He lived in Santa Maria. We stayed there, and then I gave him the number to his house, and then and luckily, man, like Monday, the guy called me and said, he's like, "You hired, man." It's like, oh fuck. So I had to drive from Santa Maria, California, which is by Santa Barbara, which is Palo Peralta. That's where Palo Peralta is, and up to Seattle, but it's right off the 101 freeway. But I didn't know anything about this shit, right? That it went through the Redwood Mountain. You know those big trees? You ever seen those pictures, those big trees where cars drive through them? Yeah, that's how big those trees are. They're like 150 whatever feet tall, And what's crazy about that tree is, God created it where it has to be on fire. It's crazy, like, that's why, man, like, I don't know, like, I don't like to push like religion or whatever, faith or whatever you want to call it, but it's amazing, you think about it, the way those seeds grow, the way the seed pops out of the shell is it has to be burned. Yeah, the seed has to be burned in order for the shell has to be burned like a cocoon, in order for the seeds to pop out and grow. So God created where like there's lightning that hit that place to burn those trees on purpose so that the seed would pop out and regrow. Like, so when I think about it, it's like sometimes, I'm just thinking about skateboarding, right? Because that's what I'm not good at, but knowledge-wise is I always say, you gotta fall, right? If you're not falling, you're not progressing, right? So that's why skateboarding is like chosen. It has to choose you. Because if you don't like falling and get hurt, I don't know if I showed you that, right, last week? I'll show you, right? It's right there. When I was at the skate park last Saturday, this guy had an Anderson, full deck Anderson. I'm talking rails, like, I'm talking a big 9-inch wide board. I'm talking like sharp nose and everything. Like the heaviest board you can get right now, probably an Anderson. Oh, well, other than the egg board. But not too many people ride egg board, compared to Anderson. But yeah, so think about like flying off of, slipping off like a bank ramp, like a 3-foot bank ramp, slipping off, and shooting the board straight with like, you know what I mean? I'm sure he's got Swiss bearings, you know what I mean? 6-ball, Super 6 Swiss, best bearings. Well, other than the ceramics, I'm gonna try the ceramics one day. It's $100, $110. Maybe I have $110. I'm gonna try it. Anyway, those are $55, half price, half with ceramic. Yeah, good thing there was a board because I was bending over and showing one of the kid how to skate, you know, like some trick, and I was bending over, and luckily he had his board down, like up and down. The board came and shot up, launched up, boom, right there on my knee. I mean, but like I said, my tolerance is so high, you know, not just mine, but anybody that skateboard for a long time has high tolerance, you know. So I felt it, but it didn't hurt that bad. The swell is finally going down. That was Saturday, so it's been 6 days. It's still swollen. Yeah, that's how hard I got hit. But yeah, man. So going to the forestry. This is like around January, 1992, January. Sun's going down. It's getting cold, and my fucking truck died, dude. I knew that had something to do with the ignition. The ignition was loose. Cause you know when you have the ignition, well, not these days. You got the push button now, but when you used to have the key, put in the ignition. A lot of people would have a lot of thing on their keys, and it would pull the ignition down and get. And while you drive, it goes like that. It made it loose, so you know it was loose. So I go out, man. I sat on the bumper, started praying. It's like 5 o'clock at night, man. Please, Lord. Think about it. I'm by myself, 20 years old. No internet, no cell phone, nothing. Just in the middle of the Oregon forest in my truck. And half of my stuff is not soap, but there's, you know, a lot of my books are still wet. You know. And man, so then I get in, man. I just put the key in. Vroom! Oh my God! Like, thank you, Lord. So then I get there around midnight. I woke up at 4 in the morning. I was driving there. So around midnight, man, I was getting tired. I was only 2 hours away, man. I had to stop at a rest stop because, you know what I mean. So anyway, I get there the next day. I sent him $150 or something. I don't know. I don't remember, but it turns out he didn't get it out for me. Or maybe he get it out and I pay him back. Because it was like $15 a day for storage. It turned out to be like $150. I got that out. And then the next day I'm gonna head home, head back down to, from Seattle, Washington down to LA, California. And his dad was saying, oh, by the way, his dad, he said his dad, can't get me a job. He can get me a job at like a Pizza Hut or something. I was like, nah. That's why I went and got my toolbox. That's the reason why I shipped it there, because my brother had a gold card back in the day, and you get a 15% discount for buying tools from the school. So he bought me a $5,000 Snap-on 3-stack toolbox. Oh, you can't get that shit now. You know what I mean? It's like 20 grand or something now. Yeah. So I shipped it up there because I thought I was gonna get a job at Boeing. So anyway, whatever. So I drove back, and he was telling me that it was gonna snow and I got to get snow tires and shit. I'm like, fuck. So I already spent 80 on the window. I spent a 150 on my storage, and I only had like $60 for gas or something. And they say you might need to get snow chain. I think they're like $20 each or something like that. I'm like, fuck, man. So I started praying that night, you know. Please, Lord, your will let it be, you know. And next day, man, it was sunny like this. So I look at like, fuck that, I'm not taking the 101. I took the 5 freeway, Interstate 5. Took about 18 hours to drive back straight. So I get there like around 5 o'clock at night. It was traffic, you know what I mean? Everyone's coming in town now. Fuck, you know, I'm like, there's a 101 freeway, the 5 this way. So 101, 5, and the 10, all like that. And right when I got there, my fucking back tire, driver's side, blew out. No shoulder or nothing, man. Like, there was a little space like that big, man. But I was like, fuck. And then there was no, because they all coming in like that, there's no shoulder at all. Just that little shoulder where they all coming in. So I'm like right on where the point is. And it's on this side where the cars are coming. I'm like, oh, please, Lord. It's my time to go, you know. I go. You know, it's not. I can feel it, man, like starting to tear, you know, because that was another life and death thing too, man. I mean, you got 3 freeways, man, or at least 2, you know, like hauling ass, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Not hauling ass, but they're coming. They're not, even though it's traffic jam, but they're still going 20, you know, 25 miles an hour. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of cars, you know? So I get the jack out and just, man. So my sister had a friend in Santa Ana. He let me stay there, you know, for like 2 weeks until I get my money so I can get the apartment. And yeah, I got that, and I'm like, fuck, you know. So good thing, because I got there, and then the next day I dropped my toolbox off, because the day after that I had a little toolbox that a friend gave me from New Mexico, going away gift, a Craftsman 3 drawer. I had it in the bags, and I woke up that morning, because he lives in a cul-de-sac where it ends. I woke up, man, my tailgate was propped open and shit, and yeah, all my tools were gone. I stole all my shit in the back of my truck. So another thing too, so I finally got a job there in Santa Ana. I got an apartment, everything. So I was riding my bike home one day, and the front door, the gate was, the lock was broken. So, you know, I didn't really look back. I thought it was people living there. So I go in and I open the door, and then there's a mailbox right here on this side. So I go check my mailbox. Next thing I know, there was like 3 Mexican, right, kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like each state has their own people that has the most race, right? Like California is like Mexicans, because Mexico is down there, and up New York is like Puerto Ricans, because Puerto Ricans are there, and then black people, right? So I got three like high school Mexican kid. So my friend used to work at this, he knew the guy named Louis. His name's Louis. He did Gypsies and Thieves. It's like kind of like a very nice, kind of like a jean material, but like jacket with different like bronze color, you know, like nice, you know, baggy pants, like nice, right? Like with the tagging writing, like graffiti style writing, GAT. So it looks nice, you know, like the gang love it, you know. So I was checking my mail. Next thing I knew, I got a gun in my forehead like this. One guy, a gun like this, and then another guy was telling me what to do, and then another guy with a gun on my back. Right, 2 guns, one here, one on my back. Like teenagers, you know. And he's like, "Give me your jacket." So I took my jacket off. He goes, and my brother bought me a Sony Walkman, you know, the yellow one that plays the tape. And you know what I mean, I had my Walkman on, ride my bike home. And then he goes, "Give me a Walkman." So I just bought this Bad Religion, the band called Bad Religion. It's called Suffer. So I only got to listen to the first side, you know. And it's funny, you know, the song Suffer. The Suffer. The Suffer. You know what I mean? Like, as in to conquer myself, you know, like suffering from getting mugged. I was like, hey man, I said, I know you're not gonna listen to that tape. It's like punk music, And the guy on my thing goes, shut the fuck up. Don't look at me. Don't look at him. Just fucking look straight. So he had a gun on my head. I didn't really know what kind of gun it was. Just a pistol. So I was like, nah, man. Dude, I just bought that tape. I haven't listened to the other side. I told him, Yeah, I wasn't scared. You know what I mean? Like 20 years old. And like I said, man, I've been through a lot of dodge death a lot, So that was and then the other guy just give me your bike. So what happened is my friend gave me this bike. It was a Schwinn Predator frame. But like my other friend Kyle, I think, gave me a red line handlebar. So it was all thrown together, with the plastic unit seat, with some green Z rims. I remember it's green. And then I put a bunch of H Street stickers on the frame. So it was like a red line Schwinn, Z rims and shit like that. It's just painted it white, and you know what I mean. So I gave him my bike. So one of them got a bike, one of them got a Walkman, one got my jacket, and so then they just ran out the back door, and I turned around, looked at them, and they were gone. Like three Mexican kids, I mean, yeah, I could have died right there, trying to get a Bad Religion tape, but like I said, man. So by 20 years old, I already been through a lot, you know what I mean? Like, nothing really gonna, plus being that young, not even faded. Like, dude, I got guns, you know what I mean, shooting around me in New York City when I'm like 10 years old. I mean, what's a gun on my forehead gonna do, So I told him I want my tape, man. He's like, nah, man. People always shit their pants, like, whatever. So I just went to my room and whatever, and I'm like, great. Now I got no ride to I got my truck, but I was just trying to ride my bike to save gas, It's just up the street. So anyway, the guy that hired me at the mechanic shop, he just came back from his honeymoon, and he died, man. He was only 27 years old. I guess they found out he had like cancer, like fast stage, Yeah, he just got married, he went to a honeymoon, he came back, and like I think like a week or so later he died, dude. I was only hired for like a year or so. And his dad came in and wanted to take the shop. It was in Santa Ana. He wanted to merge it with the bigger shop in Santa Fe Springs. Over there, to have more, it's a bigger place and everything. And he was like, well, if you want the job, you can still get it, but you're not going to get more paid, or we're not going to give you gas because you have to go further and all that. He didn't like me because, because I had big clothes on, and they would like, he wanted me to tuck my shirt in and shit, like looking professional, but fuck, man, I'm like cleaning parts and crawling under buses and, working on diesel buses and shit and motorhomes and, like Peterbilt, Cummins, Internationals, all that shit. But he wanted me to look all like I worked at I don't know, like at a Olive Garden or something, have a tie and all that shit on. Nah, man. So then his dad told me, well, by lunchtime either pack your shape up or pack your bag, pack your box. It's like, fuck it. So I was 21, 22 years old. Yeah, 22, 23 or somewhere around there. Fuck it. Pack my tools. Cause I didn't care. All I did was like I just wanted to skate, So yeah, so fuck it. So I didn't know what the future was. I did a little odd job here and there, like I did. I was cleaning parts like graveyard at Quick Set, where they make the locks and shit for the doors and stuff. In order to get a full time, you have to work there. I was working through an agency. They were taking 25% of my thing, so I was getting, I think like $5.25. I think it was $6 an hour, but I was getting like $5.25. I was sleeping in a back room at my friend's mom's grandma's house because he went on a divorce, so he lost everything. So it was me, him, his 2 kids, and one kid that was working at a skate shop. And me, I was sleeping in the back. Every time they woke up, I'm just coming home, like, fuck, they're going to like a skate contest. And yeah, I would say, fuck the sleep, I would go be knocked out, you know. Like, that's another story, you know, with all the skate shit. But the thing is, so then 1994, my brother from the casino over here asked me if I want to get a job at the casino, because he worked at Trump Taj Mahal. I'm like, hell yeah. So my sister here, she used to have a grocery store still in New Mexico. My other sister and her husband and my other brother was helping them over there. So I drove from California to New Mexico about, 15 hours or whatever. And I stayed there for like a week or so helping them. Or a month, I don't know. Then I came here. My mom was living here with my dad. And came here for a couple of days, and then I'm gonna head up to New Jersey, you know. But my brother, one of my brother in Brooklyn, he has AIDS, right? So he's dying, you know. So he always loved like Lao food, but he can't cook it because when you have AIDS, you got like worse than anything, you know, like even it's like cancer, you know. No energy, no nothing. Like his body's all big and his head, his arms all small and surrounding his legs. He could barely walk. So my mom filled a big old cooler up with like fish and fish sauce and all kinds of soups, fermented stuff, pickled stuff. Like I didn't even know, you know. Papaya, you name it. Stuff in the back of my truck. I didn't know. So I leave here, Texas, to go to New Jersey. And I get to, after I cross the bridge in Tennessee, and going 58 on a 55. But because I had a California license plate, the cops, this is, what I mean? Tennessee is like strict, like a conservative. So they saw my truck and they saw me all young and shit, and, with a California license plate. Yeah, he stopped me. And he's like, you have any fruits or vegetables? Like, nah. He's like, where you going? I was like, so I gave him the address, I was like, we're here in Pleasantville, New Jersey. My brother got me a job at the casino, Just talking like I wasn't lying. Then I get home and my mom calls me and says, I get to my brother's house in New Jersey. She says, oh, I want you to give all that stuff to your brother when you go to New York. So we opened up the cooler and shit, like all kinds of shit, man. That's not the first time. We were at the airport one time, and she had like the fermented fish and all that in a carry-on bag, and we were there. And my brother-in-law, man, he's very like conservative, man. So him and his son, Matthew, because they were going to open the fermented fish out to see what it was. Oh, they ran so fast out of the airport, man. Because back then, you don't need a ticket to get inside, So I was standing there with my sister, and my sister was like explaining to them, like, this is like, like a special medication for my brother that have AIDS. And so luckily she talked him to it, not opening it up, because man, if they open it up, I don't know if you know anything about fermented fish. In Lao, they call it padak. Oh yeah. What's that lady always say? Honey, you got another thing coming or somewhere. You got another thing coming. I didn't run, I was like, fuck it. So then we get up there and they threw it through the scanner, and I'm like, I go behind the lady, I was looking at the monitor and shit. You can see like fish heads with the eyeball and all that shit going through all the fish that she packed up. And Oh man, my mom. You know what they say? You can take my mom out of a trailer park, but you cannot take the trailer park out of my mom. Yeah, there. You can take my mom out of Laos. You cannot take the Lao out of my mom, man. Yeah. But yeah, so I go there in New Jersey, and I got a job. So there was a poker. They have Taj Mahal is the biggest poker room. They have like 68 tables or something. It's separate from the house game, you know, like the house game, like roulette, baccarat, big wheel, and all that shit, blackjack, and so separated. So they have two departments. So the poker department is hiring, but they had to go to school for it, you know. So I went to 7 weeks to learn how to deal cards, how to run, you know, the poker game. But you know, Asian people, man, they got gambling in their blood. Like I said, you know, when I was a kid, remember, we're gambling for rubber bands. You know what I mean? Even it might be rubber bands. It's all, you know what I mean, like rubber bands. And this is just casino chips. It's the same thing. It's just transferring. So my brain's already like, that ain't shit. You know, of course I passed it with flying colors, you know. Then I had to go in, do like, learn the house things for like a month or something. And I get to the floor, man. So my sister told me to go play poker for a little bit, just so I get the nervousness out, right? And she's like, so I go there, man. When I'm playing, I only bought in for like $40, and my socks are like wet, sweating in my hand, and kind of like the Eminem song, you know. My palms are sweaty, you know what I mean? I'm not ready. I'm ready to vomit, you know. Like, it was like that feeling's weird, man. Even though, like I told you, gambling is our blood, but I just feel bad to take money from somebody. I know that defeats the purpose of gambling, right? Yeah, it just feels bad to me, man. Just like fighting, right? I feel bad if I beat somebody up and hurt them, but if they hurt me, I don't care. You know, it's just how that's just how your body and your brain is made, you know? Some people are made for like competitive, right? Just like one of my nurse, this black lady, her name's Desiree. She used to be a competitive basketball player, you know, right? So her mind is competitive, and she sees me on my skateboard, and she's like, "Do you ride that thing?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes." She's like, "Well, how come I always?" Because she sits in the car for break, and she sees me, you know, coming up the parking lot. She says, "I see you all the time. How come you never ride your board?" You know, so I kind of got offended. You know what I mean? It kind of pissed me off because it's true. You know, unless it's true, it doesn't piss you off. It is true because, like I said, man, I already have a hard time riding the other one, but then I downgraded to even worse than that one. This one even worse. You see when I go roll around, just pushing it. I'm already having a hard time just pushing. So, but. Like I told you, our body is the ultimate machine. If you focus into like that guy that was doing the marbles, where his fingers like that, you know what I mean? Bent so far back. Same thing. How does people do the tightrope? They weren't born with it. Took them a long time to do the tightrope, right? So yeah, that's how it is for me. I want to do it like that. I love it, and I'm gonna do it, and I do it because I love it. Like I'm not doing it to be famous, to make a viral video, or anything like that. I better get back until unless I forget about the thing. So yeah, and then after thinking about it a couple of days, I was kind of mad, you know. Well, I was really mad because it was true. I wasn't skating because like I was scared to like, you know, this brand new board, brand new setup, and it's harder to ride than my old boards, and there's a lot of big cracks on the sidewalk, and I didn't even test this board out at the skate park. You know, I mean, I've been to the skate park to test it out enough to ride, just here and out there and here, and I wasn't riding. I was scared, man. Tell you the truth, you know, to fall and stuff. So then I realized that yeah, she's got that mind, like a competitive mind, you know, where like if you do something, you like gotta go for it. So I forgive her, you know. Sometimes you just, you know, gotta think about put yourself in like their thoughts and your thoughts, how they are, you know, sometimes, or actually all the time, what we should do is sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, I've been training myself that when I get mad, I'm going to just like hold my breath before I say something, you know. Before I would be like, fuck you, you know, like, and that could, yeah, that's a lot of times I could have been dead by saying fuck you to people, you know. Seriously. A lot of times, man, they could have pulled a gun out and shoot me, but like I said, man, God, like, it wasn't my time. So, yeah, so, you know, I'm doing this, Brian, this is because I feel it. Like I said in my last video, I wasn't really motivated. I mean, I would get a brand new board all the time, but it was just like another board, you know. But I get this one, man, just like, I don't know, man. Just holding it and just having it, looking at, like, I look over, you know, my room, I was sitting in my room and I'll look over at it and just looking at this board. It's like a perfect width, you know, skinniness, and I mean, it could be a little bit wider, but, or a little bit bigger nose, you know, because the nollie is kind of hard. But like I said, our body's ultimate machine, right? We can just do anything we want, you know. Yeah, so now I got hired at the casino. It's around like 1995. I got hired, like March or something. And I was working, everything's perfect, man. Everything's going great. I met some people, you know, I was skating at the boardwalk. I met a bunch of kids. Skateboarding is like, I don't know, man. If you have a skateboard, you move anywhere, like, you know what I mean? But I think it's good to have like faith in God, you know. Oh, anyway, I'm already believing in God now, you know. When I went to New Mexico, my mom was a really heavy faith, and you know, so she believed in Jesus Christ, you know. But it's weird, like God worked in mysterious ways, man. Because what happened was when I was in 6th grade, 1984, 13 years old, my friend named Joe Bucto, his mom was in like her 30s, something like that. She was beautiful, man. Blonde hair, blue eyes, nice little lips with like red lipstick, and oh man, she was so beautiful. So I was only 13 years old, man. I saw her. She was teaching the Sunday school, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go join there, so I could just sit there and daydream about her, you know. And yeah, and by doing that, you know, God used her beauty to lure me in, and I accepted Christ, got baptized, and, you know, asked Jesus Christ to come into my heart, be my personal savior. Yeah, man, you never know. That's why, like, I feel great, because I feel like right now, well, we're gonna get there, but I'm just gonna tell you, like, I feel great that I think God is using me as a thing, you know, an example for people. So yeah, and October, I can remember too, October 1995, I had a headache. And I went to the nurse, on my break, went to the nurse, got some Tylenol. And then the next day, second day, got some more Tylenol. The third day, I got Tylenol, and the nurse told me, why don't you go get the urgent care, get your blood done, you know? So this how irresponsible I am, man. I probably made, I think, like $75,000 a year there. You know, not more if I do overtime. I didn't even have 75 cents to ride one of those little lifts. They look like those UPS truck, but they have chairs in them and windows. 75 cents to ride on the Atlantic Avenue from the casino to the urgent care, which is like a mile. What happened is the dealers make the most money out of everyone, you know, in the whole casino. The cook, the housekeeping, bellboy, hostess, all those people don't make nothing because the tips. Because you start out like $2.25 an hour, but they give you, the casino puts up $13 tip minimum. If the tip that you get from the people is less, it goes as far as 13. So I'm making $15.25 an hour. True, I was making $7 at the mechanic shop because I never got raised, right? So I double in 2 years, like 3 years, I double my wage, right? That's minimum, okay? And you go up to like $30, $40, $50, $90, it could be $100. Now it depends if they hit the jackpot, they'll donate like $500,000 or whatever because we split all the toke up, all the money. I didn't even have 75 cents to ride Jitney, man. Because I think what happened is no one told me about money management. And, you know, as a kid, I never had money. You know, like, even in New York, my mom would give me $5. I would just buy a piece of pizza and a Coke for $1.25 and take the rest of the money, $3.75, and just play video games, you know? So what I did is when I got my paycheck, because the only thing open was the casino, the bar, and the strip club. So I don't really like to gamble, and I don't really like to drink. So I'm like, well, and I like loud music. Believe it or not, man, I go to strip clubs, not even to look at the naked, the tits and shit. I mean, it's like a bonus. But seriously, I go there because the environment is like, you're free, man. Like, nobody bothers you. You're sitting there and you have a stack of dollar bills, and if the girls come bother you, just throw a couple dollars to give it to them. They want lap dance. No, honey, thank you. Just give them like $3 and then they walk away. I order me like some hot wings and a Coke, and give the DJ, you know, like $5 and ask him, you know, play like a certain song that I like. And of course, you know, the Motley Crue song is the #1 strip club song, right? Girls, girls, girls. Girls, girls, girls. From the back door, drop to the parking lot. Girls, girls, girls. That's like embedded in my head. That just gives you an idea how many strip clubs I went to. So yeah, all my money went there, man. Like, I mean, I bought a board first, of course. Like, sometimes I'll buy a jacket or, you know, some skateboard shit. But most likely, you know, I'm sitting, you know, I mean, being single. You know, my sister, my brother-in-law, and all that shit, they all went to, you know, everybody works at night, you know, and shit, and no one's ever home. So at nighttime, just sitting, because I had daytime work. So I'll go skate and shit sometimes, but, you know, you get burnt out, and sometimes it's like, yeah, that's where my money went. So I didn't even have 75 cents. So, do I regret it? Nah, man. I don't regret it. You know, they lied to me. They said it was an investment. They're going to college. They need to save for college, right? Nah, man. I don't know. Something about it. Like, that's why I love, like, karaoke. And I just love even I go to club, you know what I mean? Just dancing, having fun, you know. Dancing, having fun. Just all about fun, you know me. If you don't see me have fun, you see me quit, so. So anyway, I finally went to the lab and got my blood done. The next day at like 7 in the morning, they called my house, you know, because they only have house phone back then. And they told me to go to the emergency room. So now I'm 24 years old. At the emergency room, my sister took me. My sister, my brother-in-law, took me there, and we waited like 7 or 6 hours. They finally got me a room, so I go in a room. And like around 8 o'clock at night, the doctor finally came in and says, hey, your kidney's only working 10%. So I was like, okay. Yeah, that was my real reaction. I was like, okay. I'm thinking like, can we go home now? You know, before then, my mom, she was on dialysis. She was on dialysis since, 1990? So 5 years before that, my mom was on dialysis. So I already knew everything about it. You know, and like I said, you know, all like if you watch the whole video up to this point, that I mean, it could have been dead so many times, But I keep getting second chances, so I got another second chance, a third chance, fourth chance, whatever this chance is. Because the thing you gotta remember, your hearts, your lungs, your liver, bone marrow, and I don't know, maybe some other shit. If something goes bad in any of that, you need a transplant. You know what I mean? You cannot live without it, right? You have to get a transplant. And see, this lady's coming. Yeah, this lady across the street, she just came check her mail and talking a little bit. She said, somebody picking you up? I said, no. I said, nobody wants to pick me up. I said, why? Because I talk too much. And I said, I just talk to the camera because, hey, the camera just give. I mean, just get. Wait, give? No, take. The camera just take. And I give my ranting. That's why I love non-live, like like life material, like camera, skateboard, you know what I mean? Anything, video game, all that shit. It don't talk back to you. I just keep talking to them. Yeah, because like I said, man, I've been through a lot, and those other organs, you know what I mean? And if you have AIDS, like my brother got AIDS, because AIDS, in Laos we never know anything about AIDS, you know what I mean? And then not until like the movie Philadelphia, right, with Tom Hanks, it started getting more and more, like people are starting to like learn more and more about it, and by then it's too late, like all his friends died. The reason he didn't die, he lived long, because longer than they did, because he had a partner, a boyfriend. If you live in New York more than 10 years, it could be there's a word for it, like you're not married but you're married, because you've been together for a long time. Yeah. What's up, brother? Oh, the fishing guy. Yeah, the mailman, him and his friend, and his friend's son, like 10 years old. I guess his son caught more fish than they did. He caught like 4 catfish. Like 5 pound was the biggest one. And you could tell, man, when you see these city workers, if somebody has like some kind of hobby or something like that they like they're happy, you talk to them, they're like happy. Because, when I go to a skate park on Saturday, 9 times out of 10, man, I'll get on the bus and like the driver's so fucking grumpy, man. Like last Saturday I went, I had 2 quarters in my hand and I was gonna drop one at a time, but my finger somehow slipped and both of them went in. So it says the quarter was no good because it only took one of them and spit the other one out. But I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't tell because there was two holes. It looked like there was 2 holes there, one up here, one down here. So I was trying to hit this one, it was the wrong one. It was like blank. And I was fumbling and trying to get the quarter out the other one, and then she's like, it's right there, it's right there, it's right there, like pushing me, First she was late anyway, the bus. Yeah, so. Anyway, yeah, when someone's happy like that, you could tell like they have some kind of hobby that they like to do. So I encourage you to go out do something, fun, So yeah, the AIDS thing, man, with my brother, it's just like cancer too, Man, one of the good kid that used to film all the time in Fulton, California. His name's Carlos. He was so good, man. I used to take him in my truck and we used to go skate and stuff, and I'd buy him like a McDonald's combo and stuff after, because like since he says sometimes there's no food at his house, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But then again, like he smoked a lot of pot and drink beer and shit. I don't know how the family thing works, but I try to help people as much as I can, if I can. Because, like I said, in my life, lifetime, a lot of people help me. So yeah, I remember we were in the refugee camp, man, one time. I just remember it was somebody's birthday, man. So they had all these like clear balloons. And they blew them up and shit. But I just remember it was like the balloon was greasy. You know? So I was like, what, 8 years old maybe? 7, 8 years old. I was gonna play with the balloon, but they were greasy, man. I was like, what the hell? Can you take a guess why they were greasy? Those balloons were actually condoms. Yeah. They were giving out condoms to the the missionaries, giving condoms out to to the head of the whatever person to do the thing. Instead, like, they kept the whole thing and use them as balloons at birthday parties. Now you know why. That's why when I see the news, when they're talking about like America giving this much money to Uganda for gay rights, or you know what I mean, it's same thing, man. Probably some kind of contribution, donation, foundation. Probably saying allow people. Well, like I said, man, my mom had 12 kids. That's not counting the miscarriages. It's probably like 6 miscarriages or 10 miscarriages. Who knows? Get like 20 low, you know. Could have been 20 low, you know. But I'm the only one, so don't forget that. Low 316. Yeah, so that money that went to the condom, that's supposed to help not regulate, but maybe cut down the population of Lao. You know what? I'm Lao, right? But here's a little fun facts. I don't know if they're facts, but I'm pretty sure, well, from my sister, so I'm thinking they're facts. So there's 2 kinds of Lao people. Lao from the city, which I am, from the capital. That's where I was born, Vientiane. And there's monk, who they're from the mountain. So she told me, the monk people, okay, there's 3 million people in Laos. 1 million is only like the city folks, like myself, right? And my family. And 2 million of it is the people in the mountain, they're called monk. So she told me the monk people, the girls at 14 years old, they have their first baby already. Okay? At 14 years old. And the men can have multiple wives. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why they have so many kids, because they have so many wives. So the guys are stoked. You're like, I don't like this wife, I'll go to the other one. Oh, she's too old, I'll go to the next one. I don't know. To me, man, like I said, if you watch the video, I never mention girls in my video, ever. Because, well, later, I mean, when I met my wife, that's my first and only. So anyway, 1995, October, I got diagnosed 10%, and they put this cut right here, the first cut. The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. And when it comes to the lucky, she is cursed. When it comes to loving me, she is the worst. The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. I will try again. Anyway, so 3 months it takes to heal that, to get it to work. So January 96, my first dialysis. I used to weigh 117 pounds in 1996. I was weighing 137, so 20 pounds was water. My neck was up. I couldn't button my shirt up. I had, those fancy shirt, the casino, with the bow tie. My eyes were shut. Yeah, my face so bloated. Yeah, I went and got my first treatment. Back then, they pull everything out, man. No limit. They pull all your shit out, man. And, they pull all your shit out, man. And they put 20 pounds in water. I was vomiting. I was sick. I was headache, dizzy. I mean, everything. Passing out. All that shit, man. Yeah. So it turns out, later I can work at the casino more, because I was taking my blood pressure medicine and, just shit like that. And had to resign. In 1997, it was too cold, So I came back to California. My friend came back to California. He was renting this 3-bedroom house, and I got that. And I came in March 97. 2 weeks later, we went to build this ramp, the skateboard ramp, for a demo for new school. And so I had a catheter in my neck. I had 20 staples in my arm. Get my arms off. 20 staples, a catheter in my neck, and we built this bank with this quarter pipe, and then a big small quarter pipe on the other side. So you drop in. So I ollie. My friend's friend, his name is Crazy Dave, Uncle Crazy. He had a LeBaron, Chrysler LeBaron with the convertible top. So around 5 o'clock, we got done building ramps, everything. He put the top up and it's like, all right, let's go, we're out of here. So I was like, all right, one more trick. That's why after this, right now, I never say one more trick or one more try. I never say one more ever. So I ollie up the quarter pipe. I ollie up the quarter pipe to do a tail slide. But it's stuck because it's brand new, right? We don't wax and shit back then, we never waxed or nothing. We was fast. So I jumped off, my board was coming down the quarter pipe, and my foot got on, my right foot was up, my front foot got on, and it shot back up, and it would So I got a spiral break on my leg. So I broke my tibia, fibula and tibia, whatever. Yeah, see? There's my scar right there. Yeah. So I got metal plate from here. 12 screws. 12 metal screws to the both bones. Yeah. Yeah, so I get my, I'm on the ground, my legs, my foot's like this. My foot's like this, my knee was up, my knee's up, your feet's supposed to be like this, it's like that. Just flopping there. And then some people call Mario, my friend, it's like, hey, he goes, what happened? He thought my catheter pulled out. And he goes, nah, he broke his leg. He's like, that's it? Fuck it, throw me in the car. So we get in the car. Man, so this is in Oceanside, like an hour away from where we live. We live in Anaheim. So this is Oceanside, south, where Tony Hawk and Danny Way and all the cool guys all live. Bucky Lasek and all that shit. Yeah, they live down there. Bob Burnquist, So anyway, I gotta sit in the front as when they stop on the brake, it feels like somebody's pulling my feet apart. Hurt it so bad. And then we get to the hospital finally. And the lady brought out a stretcher, remember? My friend's like, no, that's a wheelchair. My friend's like, no, he needs a stretcher. So he get a stretcher, I'll put me in there. We get in this room, you know, it's divided, this small hospital, right? Like an urgent care, I think. And then that little curtain, you know, that separates us. Me from like another person. And so I hear this guy like, ah! And his wife was crying and shit. Yeah, mijo, mijo, some shit, you know, like, you know, Mexican shit, you know what I mean? That's how it is, Cali style. So I pull the curtain over and I see this guy's finger. It was on one of those Chinese finger thing that holds it. I guess he was playing soccer or something. And he sprained his hand and so that it re-break his hand. Like that. She's like, no! No! She was crying more than he was, man. It was crazy, you know? So here's me and my broken leg. I'm like, what? This guy's crying? Yeah, man, skaters have high tolerance. So anyway, my foot's like that. So the doctor came in and he put my foot. So he put my foot, right? Because it was like this. So it was like this or some shit. So he straightened it out like that as much as he can. And he wrapped it temporary because I told him I was on dialysis. He was like, nope. You gotta go to a special bone doctor for that. So only thing he did is he wrapped my foot up. He had the nurse wrap it up while he hold my foot as straight as possible. And after that, I found a couple days later, I got surgery and everything looked good. I got a full cast up to here. Okay? And then, so now, like, I get Medicare, but I was trying to get Medi-Cal, which is the 20% that pays for the rest of my medical bill. So we go to Medi-Cal place, you know, next week or whatever. And I go in a wheelchair, my leg straight out. I got a catheter, and I got 20 staples, 18 or 20 staples on my arm. And I get in line, I get up there, and the lady said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I want to apply for Medi-Cal." So then she just looked at me. She looked in the system, like, where would I be under in the system? You know what I mean? Broken leg, catheter, staples, on dialysis 3 times a week. This guy's fucked. So then she told me I didn't qualify. Yeah. True story, man. So then at the same time, like I had my old truck I was telling you about, and I gave it to my friend when I was in New Jersey in 97, because when I was on disability, I can't own anything, you know? So I gave it to him and he got it. So he was driving, but we were like on a budget, you know? We were like, so he didn't have it registered and we had no insurance or nothing. So there were security guards out there writing license plate down for expired plate. So my friend's like, oh fuck, I gotta go. He's like, why? There's people giving out tickets out there. I was like, shit. So he left. So I was there by myself. And then I said, can I see the manager? And then the manager came, says, what's going on? I said, well, I'm trying to apply for Medi-Cal. She's like, I didn't qualify. The manager's like, fuck, what should we put him in? Okay, I'll tell you what. You go in this room and watch a video and then fill out this application and then we'll see what happens. So they put me in this driving class place. We were watching, you know, like if you get traffic tickets. Because I remember in high school, when I was in Arizona, I got a ticket for jaywalking, believe it or not. I had to go to a driving class for like 2 days, 16 hours. Yeah, for jaywalking. So that's pretty much what it was. Talk about like driving safety, seat belts, driving on the freeway, pedestrian, all that shit. Yeah. So I watched the video. So back then we had pagers. My friend had a pager. Remember, he took off because he didn't want to get a ticket. So I paged him and he called me back on his payphone. And I told him I was ready. So he said, okay, I'll wait. He'll wait for me at Camelot, which is about... See those trees down there? See those trees? Like double that length. From that tree, another, like from here to the tree, times 2. Okay? He was waiting me at Camelot, so you don't get a ticket. So I wheel my chair. I remember I had one leg up like this, right? And I was doing my left leg with the wheelchair and my right arm with the wheel, because this got staples and this one, my right leg's broken, my left leg's got staples. So I'm going like this. So I get up a freaking speed bump. You know a speed bump? Dude, good thing, you know, like I have good reflex, right? From skateboarding, you know? Because I could have went like upside down, but I didn't. I caught it and I balanced my left leg like I'm doing a manual. I caught myself, yeah. It was instinct, man. So he picked me up. Yeah, we got insurance and everything, and I mean, I got my insurance and everything worked out. And I mean, there's like little missed calls here and there, you know, from you know, driving an illegal truck, and we had to dodge like a couple police, and then my cast is so long on my leg that I had to sit up like this, like that, the whole way to dialysis, because that little truck we had, the 85 Nissan, the seat only goes so far back. So I'm up in my ass. And then he had a little baby too. Mario had a little baby. So we had a baby seat in the middle, and it's a stick shift. So the stick shift kept hitting the baby chair, trying to shift, like, and now I'm up like that, and you got the baby, and then you got him. And we got illegal, no tag, no registration on the truck. Like 5 in the morning, going to dialysis. Yeah. That's what I mean by survival, man, you know? That's survival for sure. And so 98, so 3 years later, 98, we're doing a contest up in it's called Skate Lab. I think it's closed down now, in Ventura. It was on my mom's birthday, December 5th, 1998. They paged me. It was Saturday morning. I had a pager, you know. They paged me saying they called him. So we're like 3 hours away, right? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not gonna call it, because I give a pager out, but I don't give the area code, you know? Like area code 714. I just give the number, I don't give the area code. So people that I give it to is only a couple of people. So I knew that was like my friend, but when I saw the area code, I was like, I don't know what this is. And it cost like almost $3 to put in the payphone, you know? So I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna call. So they paged me again, and I call, and they're like, somebody called me. They're like, no, like, fuck, I just lost $3. So then they paged me again, and then this guy and Eli and Zach, they used to they were running lethal skateboards, and I guess the company had like a cell phone that they you know, like they leased. I think it was like $1,200 or something to lease the cell phone for a year. I don't know, some shit. He's like, yeah, won't you use the cell phone? I was like, yeah, like $3. I called, they're like, hello? Like, someone called me, like, oh, hold on, someone wants to talk to you. So Victoria, she was one of the kidney coordinator, called and says, hey, you want an early Christmas present? I was like, what's that? She's like, we got a kidney for you. Like, sick. So then Sonia, who's running the castle contest, like, made a big old announcement, man, on the intercom and shit at the skate park. Everyone's all going off like, yeah, hello, fuck yeah. Everyone's all going, like, it was crazy. Like, I won a contest or something. You know? Like, it was like the community was, you know, awesome. But I didn't know not much about this shit, you know, like kidney transplant. I mean, I just knew, like, I thought that's what you had to do. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you know, you think like you go to school, and then when you graduate high school, you go to college, and then, you know, you get a job, you get married, have kids, buy a house, and then you die. That's it. Or retire. If you retire, then you die. But same thing, you know, like kidney, you know, kidney transplant has always been like, I thought that was like the ending of all, like, you know, the best. Like, I didn't know that the kidney only lasts like 8 years average, and side effects could be, you know, real bad. I didn't know, you know. Well, you learn. So my friend, you know, and his girlfriend at the same time, Alana, they drove me back to Santa Ana, which is 3 hours. I got there about 6. They gave me like some shavers and shaved my balls and hair, everything, because right here, this way you get the kidney. See? That's where the transplant is. So, you know, you don't, right here on my right side, above my groin. So yeah, they want you to shave your balls and all that shit, you know, because they want to get hair on it. Feels weird, you know. That's my first time shaving my balls and shit. But ever since, like, fuck it, I just shave it, because like I heard people have like hair lice and shit like that. You know, I don't want that. Yeah, I heard there's people have like, I was watching Forensic File. One guy murdered his girl, and he like jizzed on her, and then they found like lice in the jizz, and then it turns out to be matching to his lice. That was fucking crazy shit. Anyway, yeah. So now, yeah, I just like even shave my armpits and shit. Just my friend Mario. Nah, man, to talk about like lice and shit, it's like nah. But yeah, I used to have lice when I first came to New York. Yeah, I had lice in my hair. And yeah, let's get to the lice thing real quick. Get out of the way. Yeah, my mom, she got raped. She got like a white piece of paper, printing paper on the ground, and she got raid, spray on my head, and comb with a thin fine tooth comb, right? And then she would pop it with her hand when it's on the ground. She would pop the lice. Cause there was this Lao guy, he just came from Laos. I was hanging out with him, I was playing with him, and then that's how I got it. His lice jumped over my hair. So yeah, it was, you know, that's normal, man. That's Lao shit. Mosquito, lice, centipede, snakes, worm. I mean, that's just how it is, man. But I didn't want that shit. So, anyway. So I was sitting there, I was falling asleep, and around 1 o'clock in the morning, the doctor came in. He's been out all day, like, I guess. He said, I gotta go home and freshen up real quick, and I'll come back. And next thing I know, I was counting down, like, when they put the thing in my mouth. I was counting down, like, 199, like, I don't know. Next thing I knew, I woke up the next day, I saw my friend Mario and Alana standing there. Probably like 10 or 11 in the morning, and my side was hurting, you know. Like, wow. So yeah. So not long after that, man. So that was 99. No, 98. So then 99 around, I don't know, April or May or somewhere around there. I was skating Huntington Beach, and just everything went dark, man. Like this, I know the light was going down, the night was going down, everything, but it went dark, like pitch dark, dude. Like pitch dark. I couldn't see anything. So by then I was going to school already. I was registering because I thought, you know, I'd get new life, new kidney. So I went to DeVry University for like engineering and shit, you know, just you know what I mean? I was like, figure if I gotta maybe get a good job and shit, you know. Actually, I just wanted to test myself, you know, like test my brain, right? So I went to school, and it was during the exam week on a Monday. So this is around 99 still. Maybe around May or something. I started seeing these black spots in my started seeing these maybe like 5 or 6 black spots on Monday. So then I was like, well, because the exam is from Monday to Thursday. So I was like, well, I'll go to eye doctor on Friday. So then Tuesday it was like double, it was like 12 spots. And then Wednesday was like big blob, not spot, they're like big blob now. And then Thursday it was just all black, dude. It was like all black. So I finally went to see the eye doctor, and he said I have to go see a special retina specialist. And so I went to see, I think his name was Dr. Chin, Sanford Chin or something like that. Specialist. He was super good. So he told me my retina peeled, my left eye, and it's like getting a piece of American cheese, you know, the square, and put it in a microwave for like 10 seconds, and then try to put it back in a square, you know, where it's all melted. They tried that. They put like some black fluid in, and then I could see, but it was crooked. The picture was crooked and it was all dark, you know. Yeah, and then I came here, I think sometime, I don't know what year, but I came here, and the doctor took the fluid out, and I was supposed to do this every day for 2 hours, put my head down. But you know, I was in my fucking 20s. I was like, fuck it, I want to go skate. It's too much of a waste of time. So, because I didn't do that, my retina never stuck to my eyeball. So I paid for it, you know. So now I'm blind in my left eye. And then later on, one night we came back from like a Vans session, a Vans demo or some shit. Went to my friend's mom's house. And we sit there because his dad likes to watch the cowboy movie. And I was just sitting there, and everything went like all white, like that, on my right eye. And then it came back, and I could see like the outline of the guys on TV screen. Like see me right here, just an outline of me in yellow. Everything else is white, and it's all yellow. Only outline in yellow. Everything's white. So then I go back to the eye doctor, and he tells me that my eye pressure was 42. Normal eye shouldn't be more than like 12. Okay, so 4 times. So what happened is it popped all my vessels in my right eye, in the back, the blood vessels, all popped because the pressure got so high. And that's what they're trying to do right now, because I have glaucoma. And the glaucoma is like in your genes. It's a virus that tries to attack the back of my, where the light comes in to my, it's like a piece of rope, you know, tying from one thing to another. So like a rope that ties from the front of the eye to the back of the eye to the brain. That's what those nerves, that's how you can see. And the glaucoma, if you don't keep it under control, it's gonna keep attacking it. Like rust, you know, like rust on a metal, keeps eating it. So yeah, lucky now that I got every like 2-3 months, I go see a glaucoma specialist. Even though my eye is dimming. It was 30%, now it's only 22, you know. So I'm blind in my left eye, my right eye is dimming. I got cataract, which is the gray layer in front of your eye. I got glaucoma, which is the disease that attacks your nerve system that tries to make you go blind. Yeah. So anyway, the good thing that came out of it was my wife, she was working before I met her. She was working at the eye doctor. And in 2002, she had a cabin, a rental cabin going away. And her boyfriend cheated on her. And she didn't want to go alone, so she asked me if I want to go with her. And I just got this eye surgery. So a couple of days before that, I was blind because they had a patch on my eye. And I was staying with my friend Mario, so he was taking care of me. And yeah, she came pick me up. We went on the trip. And yeah, that was like our first date, man. So by going blind, I met my wife. You know, like so I was saying how no matter things seems to be bad, you know, it's always a purpose of, you know, some things. To me, that was worth it, you know. If I didn't go blind, it wouldn't matter. And yeah. So I mean, there's more of this shit, but oh yeah, another thing, because my kidney was rejecting. You know, like I told you, after 8 years, it rejects. So around 6 years, my foot started getting swollen and everything. And they went to do a biopsy right here on the kidney, right here. They stick a needle in there. There's a main artery right here. So when they stuck that, they nicked my artery. So one of my coordinator, the guy, because dialysis, kidney transplant thing used to be on the 6th floor. I was on the 1st floor getting a biopsy where they stick a long needle in and get a little sample of your kidney while it was rejecting. So he ran down from like the 5th floor, the 6th floor of the building. He came all the way down the stairs, and I saw him. His face was all white, and he looked at me and he's like, and he looked at the nurse and everything, and he was like, you know, like, is everything all right? And then I saw him. His face is white, and I was like, you know, later I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, like, you seen a ghost? He says, yeah, I did. He said, this guy that did it right before you, they did the same thing, and they nicked his artery, and he died, you know. So I thought that's what happened to me too. That's why he ran down so fast. Yeah, so cheating death, man, that's what I do. And that was another one. So then later, I didn't want to get the dialysis on my leg. See, I had my leg on my leg right now. Look. Okay. That's why I do my treatment now. Yeah, because both of my arms are gone. I even try to put plastics to my arm. Yeah, let's just say I went under the knife many times. many times. They just put catheter in my neck. It's so bad that it's like clogged up. Yeah. So I didn't want to put my the access to my leg, so I was like, well, maybe I'll try home dialysis. So home dialysis, you do it in your stomach, right here. See? See that hole? Yeah, you put a tube in there, and you do it at home. You can do it through a machine or a manual. I did a manual where they just... Anyway, you're supposed to get your own shots of the blood because your kidney makes your blood for you. They send signals to the bone marrow, you know. So I don't have kidneys, so I get these epogen shots, and I was getting them and stuff, but I guess I wasn't getting them enough. Because I went in, when I had the infection in my tube, I went in there and they said my hemoglobin is only 3.5. Okay? 3.5 is probably like 2 pints, 2 bags. Because normal, for me right now, it's supposed to be like around 11. Normal people is around 13, okay? So 11 to 3.5. The lady's like, the nurse said, how are you still alive? I don't know, because I was so used to it, you know? So I was always tired. And it sucked because another mistake I did. I went there because my dialysis and my doctor, the office is like next door, so I thought they'd come over to see me. Instead of going to the best hospital, I went to the hospital where like was more convenient. But now I learned that I gotta go to the best hospital because what happened is the thing got infected so bad. I was in that hospital for like 7 days, and the doctor never came saw me, and the thing got infected. They never pulled the tube out or do anything. And the lady that was helping me doing dialysis, she was like 80 years old, and I had to do it like 4 times. I was doing it at 8 o'clock at night, 12, 4 in the morning, and 8 in the morning. So she was leaving at 12 o'clock. So I would have to do it myself on 4 in the morning and 8 in the morning. Or no, I did it 12 o'clock and 4 in the morning because she came at 8 in the morning. Yeah, out of those 4, I had to do 2 of them. So now my stomach in here, because in the stomach you have a little gap like that big that has between your organs and your stomach lining. So now because of an infection, my organs and my linings are all fused together now. So now I can't do home dialysis no more because of that. And I love home dialysis too. So after 7 years, they finally transferred me over to, I was going to La Palma Regional Hospital. And then they sent me to Anaheim Regional, which is the better one, the best one. I should have went there in the first place. It was a little bit further, but it was the best hospital there. Because they have a big dialysis unit right downstairs, and then they have like a whole, like, everything there. So then, when I got there at 8 o'clock that night, or 6 o'clock, I think 6 o'clock, like 3 of the nurses from downstairs from dialysis ran up to meet me, you know, to greet me and everything. And then the next morning, they pulled the tube out and everything. Yeah, everything was like fast and everything. That's another thing I learned, you know. So now I'm back on dialysis, and so I did home dialysis from 2008. I actually got it here in Texas, the tube. 2014 I got taken out, and then you know, and then I got my thing put in my leg, and I've been ever since 2014. So this access I got this access for almost 16 years now. So everything's finally great. I got my vascular that looks at my vein doctor. I got my eye doctor now. But it wasn't like that in the beginning, you know. So yeah, so I met my wife, and yeah, it was rough too, man. With her, and she fell down some stairs, and you know, she had a lot of depression, and she fell down some stairs. I told her don't get the surgery. She got back surgery, and she was getting ready to go back to work, you know, at the eye place. It turned out there was a leak in her back. Turns out she had staph infection. Then she had to get another surgery, second surgery. It ended up being like 5 surgeries, and 4 of the surgeries was in California. We were living with my friend. We had a warehouse. We lived in a warehouse. his girlfriend had a name on it. She wanted to give it away, and then so like 2009 or something. I don't know. Or before that, her 5th surgery. I was here in 2008 getting my home dialysis. She was in Las Vegas with her mom, and then she was gonna get the 5th surgery. So I moved back to California from here. 2000, yeah. It was crazy. I moved to Vegas first, and then that didn't work out because my sister said she's gonna move there, but she didn't, so it didn't work out because she was working at a casino. She couldn't get a job at the casino, so we lost that apartment. It was me and her boyfriend, and we didn't get along. We got a big fight, and he just took off one day, and then, yeah, that was 2007. And then I came here 2008, got my home dialysis, and my wife was in Vegas. That's why I went to Vegas, you know, to see her. And they said she was gonna get her 5th surgery. Then I moved back to the warehouse, my friend's house, my friend's warehouse in Fulton. And I was living in the warehouse for a while. I was living in the warehouse since 2002. You know, yeah, I was living off and on in the warehouse. My wife had a rented house, but I wouldn't go stay there here and there. But I still have the warehouse, you know, as my own place to live. And it was tough, man. We got evicted. So, and then I rode the bus. Check this out. So 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. I went back to Fulton, California. I took the bus to Las Vegas, 8 hours. Good thing my niece just happened to buy a house there. And then she's like, oh, you can stay here. So, you know what I mean? Thank God. See, that worked out perfect. So then my wife got a 5th surgery. Then after that, she came to stay with me and my niece in Vegas, right? So 2009 or something like that. And then after that, we moved back to the warehouse, like around end of 2009. So anyway, so that weekend I went down to see her before my niece gave me the place. When we had the apartment, I went home. I went to the bus station around 8 o'clock at night. Turns out that there was no more buses coming, so I'm sitting in the front. I'm in the front row, sitting on the hard floor. They said the bus not coming till 8 in the morning because they said there was snow up in the mountains. So I sat on the hard floor from 8 o'clock at night, probably like 7 something, because my brother-in-law, before I didn't fight, he dropped me off. I sat there from like around 7 or 8 o'clock at night on the hard, you know, on the floor, to 8 in the morning. So 12 hours, no sleep, nothing. I just sat there, like I just sat there, whatever, sleep here and there, whatever. You don't want to get your spot taken away. So at 8 o'clock came, there was a van that you know, a bus that came from Utah. They had a couple of seats open, and they said the VIP gets to go first. So if you pay an extra $5, you get VIP. So I sat there for 16 hours in the front. I'm the next person, but like these 5 or 6 people behind me, they bought an extra $5, so they got to get in the bus for me. So then finally the next bus came at 9 o'clock, and I got in. Got back to California on Monday, and now remember I gotta go to my dialysis. So the bus, the Greyhound, went from LA to Anaheim, but when we get to like Norwalk, I got off and I rode one of the local bus to my dialysis, which is in La Palma. And then I took and the good thing they had like a 4th shift, which is 5 o'clock. So I did like 3.5 hours So I got out at 8 o'clock, 8:30, somewhere around there. So then, yeah, after I got dialysis, I don't think there was any more buses coming. There probably was, but I don't know. I just walked home from La Palma to Fullerton, and yeah, that was my my day, my weekend, I should say. Yeah, so that's another hurdle that God helped me with. I mean, there are many things like waiting for the bus, and the bus has a flat. Waiting like 2 hours. Man, this fucking car. I don't know. Yeah, so after that, like I said, my niece had a house. My wife finally came out with a with a fifth surgery. Man, I'm getting so distracted from that damn car. And yeah, we did like a little bit of walking here and there. Now I got this truck started. And then we came back, and my friend was like, yeah, you can rent the apartment for $710 or $750 or $700. I was getting $750 for this building, and I got like I think 100 or 200 for a food stamp. So I got that. So I got like $50 or something left, and food stamps. And my wife got like a little bit of general relief. You get $200 cash, food stamp, and bus token. So if you're homeless, you don't have a job, you could do that for like, because she was trying to get disability, but it took her like a while, like 5 years or something. So she was living with me with my budget. So then, like, yeah, getting back now, caught up to my friend, his wife. She had a lot of like 4 like different warehouse with a name on it, and her credit was going down, so she wanted to get rid of them. So ours is one of them. So we had nowhere to go, man. We had nowhere to go. I called my sister here. She said, nah. She rented this house out, and she was living with her daughter, with my brother-in-law. It's like, fuck. I called my brother in New Jersey. He's like, nah, it's full here. Man. So, believe it or not, man, we had nowhere to go. We got, no place to live. We had no money. I mean, I had $750. Not gonna rent anything. Man, I was like in a suicide. Seriously, I was in a suicide state, man. I was like, fuck, going through all that shit. Oh yeah, the reason why my wife was in Las Vegas is because we were living with her sister, and her sister met some guy on the internet and just gave up the apartment. We had like 1 week left, and we got evicted, and my wife was at the hospital at the same time, getting her back done and everything. And it was like during Christmas. The guy that came out to do her back, they didn't want to wait for her because she took too long to stand up. And yeah, we stayed in this motel. Yeah, before we went to Vegas, she had a little Kia Rio. So we got evicted, and then only thing I could pack in was all her syringes and all her shit, all the medical stuff. We went and stayed at this motel, and went to dialysis. It was raining. All her shit got wet. Like, she lost everything, all her, memorabilia shit. I didn't have anything. I had like a couple of shit too, like, Well, all my shit was still in the warehouse or something. I don't know. Something happened. Oh no, we got evicted. Yeah, I'm getting confused. Sorry. So the next morning, like this motel was pretty shitty, you know, shady. I don't know. I was just worried about her shit, you know. So I didn't really worry about my stuff. Just worried about getting her medical shit, you know. So I was packing, you know, I was bringing out all the syringes and bags of saline and all that for her, you know, in the car. And this motel was pretty shitty, you know, pretty shady. So 3 cops were there, cop cars. And they were driving back and forth. They see me coming out with this big bag of syringes and shit, you know. So they pulled up. And they're like, hey, what's up? I was like, nothing. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm like, oh, we're getting ready to go to Vegas, me and my wife. And he's like, mind if I come in? I said, yeah, sure. And then he sees her. She's in a bed, and she's got a IV needle in her, you know, for her IV. And a bag, a syringe and shit, a bag of saline. And he's like, oh, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing good. She's like, who is this? Like, that's my husband. He's like, you sure? She's like, yeah. Like, why? She said, he's not stealing your kidney or anything, right? He just laughs and says, nah, what? That's crazy, right? So he goes in the bathroom, he sees like all these empty syringes and, you know, bags of like saline and everything in the trash bags and in the trash can, you know. And so now another cop comes and yeah, so they thought I was stealing a kidney, you know. And I guess it's normal over there, you know, for somebody stealing kidneys and shit in a motel. So then we're waiting for a nurse to come and check her you know, change the band-aids and shit like that. And she came and everything, and it was awesome, man. She gave us like $40 because I needed the car needed like 2 front tires, you know. It was all bald. So that $40, we went got like 2 used tires for like $20 each, or 25 or somewhere, something like that. And yeah, so she blessed us with like $40, and we got to get some, you know, some new used tires. And yeah, and I didn't have my driver's license or nothing, man. We just praised the Lord, and we had no place to go. And like I said, man, I was like, before that, I was like in a suicide mode, man. I was like, then fuck it, you know, just go all out, just take a bunch of pills or something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man, I wasn't thinking straight. Because we had nowhere to go, man. Like, we're gonna be homeless. I guess we could just be homeless. So yeah, blind as a bat. You know, like, I've been driving since I was 16 years old, 15 years old. So, I mean, you know, kind of like skating, right? Blind as a bat, but I can still maneuver it because from the field. So we made it to Las Vegas, met her mom and everything, but for some reason her mom didn't like me, so I dropped her off. She went in to stay with her mom, and eventually, like I said, I got her apartment with my friend's, my sister's boyfriend. And then I had to reschedule everything for my dialysis there in Vegas. I did that for a little bit. And in the morning, I would take the bus to go see her because the mom works in the morning. So she gets out like around 1. So I would go visit my wife, like, you know, like around 8. And then leave like around 12, go back to my apartment. Did that for a little bit. And then she had to go to the hospital again. In Vegas, and it was a bitch trying to get pain pills for her, you know, because like they can only carry so much at, you know, like I had no car, so I'm like on my feet and my skateboard. I'm skating from like one Walgreens to another, you know, and luckily my niece, she didn't go to work yet, because I activated one in Walgreens, and then now they won't do it for another one. So my niece came, I don't know what she did, but she got the medicine for her. So then we were up there, we heard like some kind of like intercom thing saying like we gotta stay in a room because I guess some guy was shooting up the emergency room and shit downstairs. And then next couple of days, her freaking the way it's crazy. The way the hospital is like a three, like this. Like the elevator is in the middle, and everything went out 3 ways, like this. Elevator's in the middle. So what happened? I guess it got flooded. So I had to push my wife in a stretcher from here all the way in to get to the elevator. Yeah, the place got flooded. You know, a couple of days before that, someone was shooting downstairs, and I mean, there's so many more, but I'm just trying to give you an idea, man. That you know, God was always there, and so then so now like I told you, we went to back and got the apartment. I mean, the warehouse, and nowhere to go. I'm like suicidal, man. Finally, my sister, the one that got me an apartment in Vegas, she's still with her boyfriend, by the way. Same one that I got in a fight with. So he's like, no, everything's cool now. So you come live with us. So she had a 2-bedroom place. So we got one room, me and my wife, and they got the other one. And my sister was always nice to us, you know, but she was like juggling between him and us. So we had like a blow-up little mattress that we just sleep, because she has pain, right? She had 5 back surgeries. So she sleep whenever she can, you know, and so we're just doing our own thing. And then supposedly, you know, the guy was like nice, but then what happened is, like, we're in Florida, right? Like around 2010-ish, beginning of 2010. Like back there, you know, people used to go down there to like doctor shop. You could buy the pain pill, right? Oxy, right? Yeah, Oxy was a big thing. You can just give them like $200 and they just give you a prescription, right? You know, bring your back, because like her boyfriend had like a back pain, because we were skating one time. We were cool, you know. We're bombing this ditch, and then he like jumped out and he fell on his back. So then he got like a back surgery. I don't know what happened. So he still have his little X-ray thing. That's why he took off from Vegas, because he knew like in Florida you could get like a lot of pills and shit. So we were really tight too, man. But then he started taking a lot of Oxy, you know, got addicted to it. He became like moody, you know, like he's not the only one. My other friend too, my best friend back in the day, he was hooked on, you know, smoking pot. If he didn't get his pot smoking, be all moody and shit, and be like, I can't, you know what I mean? I'm done with those kind of people, you know, like that's on drugs and shit. So one day he just came in the room and started talking shit, saying, because my wife's kind of, when I first met her, she's really, really fat, you know. She weighed like 320 or something. And she started losing weight. She was like 240 or something. Like she lost like 100 pounds. Getting down more and more, you know. And he started saying, yeah, you fucking fat bitch, and you fucking need some hamburger, cheeseburger. Because I guess my sister was cooking some food and shit before she went to work. And we told, you know, yeah, you know, we'll go eat it, you know, after, whenever. And we appreciated it and everything. And like, he didn't like that. He felt like my sister was being like servants, you know, to us and shit. So he started, plus he was on his pills and everything, or he couldn't get his pills or his pot and all that. Started going off, man, getting fucking crazy, you know. And even, you know, today I really talked to him, man. That wasn't the first time. That wasn't the first time we got in it with him, man. That's not the first time. So we were there for like 2 weeks or some shit, man. And it was raining. Of course it's raining, right? I moved to California, it was raining, right? What else? You know, we getting evicted, it's raining, right? Rain always has something to do with it. That's not the last rain, trust me. So then my sister was like, all right, we got evicted. She took his side. So she helped us find a room from one of her friends had a house in Florida, and so it was like $400 or something, to rent. So she, I got a shopping. She was living in the second floor, so I got a shopping cart. I filled up. Oh, I was on home dialysis. That's why. So I got all my bags and everything, and my boxes of my shit and her shit. We put it on the shopping cart. She had my wife had 2 cases of stuff. I had 2 boxes, and the rest of it boxes of chemicals for my dialysis, home dialysis. So we pushed it down, took the elevator down, and started walking. I don't know where we're gonna go. We're just walking in the rain. And my sister came down and says, "Here, get in the car. I'll find a place for you." So she called around, got us a room. We were sharing this house with these 2 single guys, single Lao guy in it, probably early 30s, late 20s, early, around 30-ish. They were working at a restaurant. So we barely see them. But one day they saw me doing my treatment. I had this, my tube hanging out and the bag of fluid and everything. So they thought it was they were gonna catch it. They thought I had some kind of disease. Like I said, man, Asian people, they're really superstitious, man. They don't really check out the facts, That's why people like my sister here, she has a turtle number. When they bought me a truck that a license plate that had a turtle number, which is I think 9, number 9 or something. So I had to wash the truck, and even though it was nighttime, and take the bad luck out of it, you know what I mean? So I was used to that. So those 2 guys called the lady, and they moved out, dude. The next day they were gone. The house was empty. So we got the whole house to ourselves. The house was dirty, man. Kitchen was dirty. So I mean, these guys supposed to be cooks, but refrigerator was dirty. Everything was dirty. The shower was dirty. It was bad, man. We stayed there for 2 weeks. Then my wife called her daughter, who was living in Long Beach, with her granddaughter and her boyfriend. Here's another boyfriend story. So they're like, "Yeah, come back. You can live with us." So now we flew back, you know what I mean? Flew back to Long Beach, California from Florida. Yeah, good thing with home dialysis, you just give them your address, and then they just ship everything to you. So I pretty much, whatever they use, I just, drain the water, drain the fluid, and just throw it away. And just, got my bag, whatever, got on the plane without little shit. Shipped a couple boxes. My sister shipped us a couple boxes. Went to live in Long Beach, and yeah, when we got there, guess what? It's raining. Yes. It's raining, man. So then I was taking my my wife's granddaughter, Yeah, this guy never worked in his garage ever. It's the first time because I'm doing my video. Yeah, so I would take the granddaughter to school, pick her up and everything. And one day, I guess she was doing her homework, we're just sitting there, and then her boyfriend got pissed off and stomped on the foot. The baby's, she was only probably 9 years old, right? Stepped on the foot really hard. He was like a gangbanger, he was a gangbanger big time. We didn't really get along with him, but whatever. So my wife got pissed off because the granddaughter, her foot really swelled up, right? And she stepped up on him. And he always carries a screwdriver, you know what I mean? In his pocket. And so I stepped up, we stepped up, and we started arguing and everything. And he called the cops, and the cops came and said, "Whose house is this? Or whose apartment is this?" It was her daughter. But then her daughter took the boyfriend's side. We're trying to stick up for the baby. So we got evicted again. We got kicked out. Not even there for a week. 1 week we're there. And I knew my friend named Davey. He had a little Nissan truck too. So I still had his number. It was like midnight. I called him. It was raining. So he put a couple of our stuff in there, and then my wife, she had a son that was living in a motel. I mean, in an apartment over here. So a studio apartment. So we went to her son's house, and my friend helped me. You know, we moved it, everything. And it was like, I think it was February. It was like February 28th, somewhere around there. And then it turns out the landlord was cleaning up he was living number 1, cleaning up number 5. So we're like asking him how much you want for that. He says $600, but if you want the air conditioning in the window, it's $640, and everything is paid for. You know, everything. You just pay the rent. That's it. Electricity, gas, everything's paid for. So $640. I was getting $750, and yeah. So I was like, well, plus $500 deposit. So he said I can make a $50 deposit. So $640. So $690, and so I had $750. So I got $60 left, cash, plus like $200 food stamps. And we were so happy, man. We got our own place. We had nothing, man. No internet, no TV, nothing. It came with a bed and a kitchen, and we had nothing, man, for the longest time, until my wife got her disability. I think she got $35,000, something like that, or $25,000 for disability, like the check, back pay. So she ended up buying her daughter a car. She wanted a Monte Carlo. You know, I don't know why. She just got like a Honda, but she didn't know anything. So then it turns out some shit was wrong with it, so she had to pay another, like, ended up being like $18,000. Then she had to get a license, $750. Then she lost the money, so I gave another $750. So pretty much that $35,000, she gave her like $25,000 of it or more. So we bought a Mazda 2200 for $2,000, and put another like $1,500 into like new tires and tune-up and brakes and all that stuff, you know. And we bought like a 40-inch TV for like $300. We got the internet turned on. So yeah, after that, when she got that, we're back like almost normal. So we stayed there 2010, and so it was working out, because she got her disability and my disability. So now we suffer for a little bit, you know, on our $750. We just get by. And yeah, so we're starting to wrap up now. So she always had depression, you know. We never, it wasn't a perfect thing. I mean, we never really got married, like as in paper, but we were together for 22 years, you know. So last year in January, she was in the hospital for like 2 months. I went to visit her, like I was every day for 2 months, almost like 60 hours or so, you know, every week I went to visit her. I would go in the morning on my, when they open at 9 in the morning till 12. And then I would go to dialysis till like 5. And then I would come back to visit her till like 8 o'clock on my dialysis day. And then non-dialysis day, I would go from 9 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, 4 days a week, for like 2 months. And off and on, we're trying to get her home, and she was like in the end of her death, you know, deathbed. Like, what's that called, sepsis or whatever? Where they try to give you pills and everything to make it easier. Same thing with my dad here when he had cancer, throat cancer. that's what they did. They just got a bed down here, and she just, you know, trying to be comfortable as possible. So we finally get her home like 3 times. The 3rd time, she said she couldn't breathe, so I gave her an oxygen tank to put in her nose. And she's like, "Good night, baby. I love you." So in the morning, I usually make a, you know, she likes to eat tea with like a little bit of lemon and sugar. And in the morning, I woke up like around, you know, I woke up, was playing my games, everything, just kicking back, giving her a little bit of time to wake up, you know. And so when we wake her up at around 9, she wasn't responding. Yeah. She went to like a coma, you know. So I called 911. They told me like keep pumping her heart and everything. And then on Sunday I went to visit her. And that was the last time I visited her, because I went there and she was in this special room, and the lady who was in charge she was a fucking bitch, man. She kept telling me like I wear all kinds of shit. Oh shit! Yeah, that wind's coming. Yeah, she's a bitch, man. She's telling me to wear like all these gowns and masks and all kinds of shit, and I was like, you know, I'm already bummed, man. My wife, you know, she's dying. She's fucking dying, man. Instead of like letting you know what I mean? Just let like me grieve and shit, and just let me, you know, like have my last moments with her. I was like, fuck you, bitch. You know, I was pissed, man. So I told my wife, I said, "I'm sorry, baby. I'm not coming back." So that was Sunday, and then on Wednesday, her daughter kept going over there to visit her, but you know, she's a little bit more patient than me. So on Wednesday, January 27th, 2025, last year, she called me and said, my wife, she passed. So then I called my sister here, and she said, yeah, you know. So I told her if I get over here like in March. So I got a ticket in March 27. But that first 3 days, man, there, it was tough. That was my second suicide, man. I was sitting in there, you know, they had a rental bed, the special bed. They came, picked up the bed, they picked up everything. The house is like empty because I gave everything to her daughter. And that's it, man, you know. I gave everything to her daughter. And just sitting there in the dark. You know, I had a bag, you know, bottles of like Percocet, Oxy, some other pain pill shit, like a lot. I was just gonna take the whole bottle, man. That's before I called my sister I was gonna move here. The first 3 days, you know, just sitting there. It was heavy, man. I missed her, you know. I missed her a lot. And I'm thinking like, you know, I got no future, you know what I mean? What's my future? You know? Yeah, I was just gonna end it right there, man. Just gonna end it right there, man. Just. And you know, a year before that, I had 8 cats. I was living in New Jersey. I have 2 cats in the beginning. That's the reason why I moved I moved to New Jersey, and then in March, I moved there like January and March. The cat had a baby. I gave birth to my cats, 6 cats. And then a month later, the dad, he never came back. He got kidnapped or ran over or something, man. I was so sad, and I was gonna move to Florida, a month later, and like in June. And I was waiting for my cat. I was waiting for him to come back. Because I moved to New Jersey, it didn't work out like I planned, Because my brother had a roommate, I didn't get along with him. Yeah, and either a boyfriend or roommate or something, Can never get along. So I had my windows open for a whole month, man. So what happened, I think the cat got that cat pregnant, and then I was trying to get it spayed and neutered, but it was gonna cost a lot. I couldn't do it. So then when I moved to Florida, so I think God gave away the cat, the dad, is because I guess after 3 weeks the mom could get pregnant again. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, the cat thing was awesome. But anyway, getting back to the suicide thing. Right when I was gonna do it, I saw the black cat, like the crazy one. The black one was the crazy one. Like, he was like, I had my eyes closed and everything, ready to do it. And he was licking my face. I mean, virtually. He's not there, it's just from brain, So that's when I woke up, I was like, nah, I think my wife would want me to live on, So then after that, I called my sister, moved here last year at this time. I've been here no, I haven't been here a year yet. I came here on the 27th. Today is the 5th. So like 3 more weeks, I'll be here a year. Almost a year. So yeah, but my wife's been gone a year. Came here, of course, everything's rough. Couldn't get my eye doctor, couldn't get my dialysis, couldn't get my pills. A lot of things I couldn't get. And then, of course, all God's plan. Everything worked out. Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so everything worked out. Went to church. Got, more spiritual food and physical food. And, yeah, everything working out now, man. So the other day, yesterday, there's this guy, he's in like his 30s. His name is Tony. I talked to him once, like I go around 11. When my chair, he gets out about 10:30. He usually sit in the waiting room, and he's sitting there. And then now yesterday he came out for the second time, and he saw me on my skateboard. He was telling me that because of me, like, it inspired him to want to do, like, get better, dialysis. He's only like 30 years old, because he was on his way giving up too. He's got diabetic. He's got eye problems, he's got this and that, but then he saw that so here's a little story to relate with that. So there's an old man driving by the bridge, driving across the San Francisco Golden Bridge, and he saw a young man sitting there ready to jump off the bridge. So he pulls over, and he gets out, start talking to the young man, and after 5 minutes later, they both jumped off the bridge. You're like, Lo, what? That wasn't funny. Dude, think about it. The guy's story was so sad that it made the old man want to jump too. So the whole point I'm trying to say is, if you gotta help somebody, you gotta be stronger than that person. You ever try to stand on the table and try to pull someone up the table? It's hard, right? But if you stand down here and pull somebody down from the table, it's easier, right? So yeah. So that's why I try to do everything by action, you know. I try to be strong, do by examples, you know. You know what I mean? Show by action, but not by thing. So yeah, that guy Tony was like, my story is so strong, you know, that he wants to get better. So like I said, you know, God has a purpose for me. And plus another thing is I'm trying to do get that skateboarding, you know, with the church thing too. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. And yeah, so these videos that I'm making, hopefully it touches someone. I'm feeling dizzy, man. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm probably gonna go eat something. And I don't know. So I don't know if there's gonna be any skateboarding. So this might not be a skate video, so I might change it to another title. Because yeah, I'm just gonna go eat and gonna end the video. Oh, another thing too, like, you know, when I go to homeless and all that people, I carry cigarettes and lighters and everything to help the homeless, and I have cat food that I give to the cats. And, you know, I feel really privileged to help out other people. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna end the video here. I don't know if it's a good ending, but yeah, so I gotta get something to eat. I'm hungry and I'm feeling that my blood pressure is going down big time. Anyway, go visit your friends and family. The dead do not need anything. Always keep on rolling. Running water don't go stale. If you see me have fun, see me quit, and I'll be keeping the underground lit for you and me, alright? Enjoy.